hidden fees, and no waiting periods. And you can start coverage right over the phone, starting at less than $1 a day. So don't wait. There's no obligation, and acceptance is guaranteed. Call today to protect your loved ones and their future. The number is up on the screen now.
Call 800-960-3083. That's 800-960-3083.
Welcome back. Newsmax will be speaking with some very high-profile guests today.
That's right. Today, our own Greta Van Susteren will interview Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, getting his thoughts on what comes next in the U.S. and Israel's response to Iran.
And tonight, former Vice President Mike Pence will be in studio, joining Rob Finnerty right here at the Newsmax studios in New York City. Those are very high-profile guests right here at Newsmax.
Be sure to tune in, especially with Netanyahu. I am curious to see the latest as to what's unfolding in the war. We've been covering it incredibly closely with our reporters on the ground, such as Jody Cohen and others, and I'm sure he will also discuss the latest with respect to Iran's nuclear proliferation.
Exactly, and beat back the narrative that the legacy media continues to run with, making sure people understand the objectives of the mission is not to be engaged in a long-term war. It is to accomplish, possibly for the first time in a very long time, peace or some type of inkling of peace in the Middle East. So that way people can actually experience prosperity and freedoms, especially the women in Iran.
That's such an important point, John, and I am glad you made it. Feminism. Where are the feminists now? They don't talk about the fact that these women have been under burqas. They've been completely not able to show that who they are, and now they are finally, yet you have protesters in the United States going against that.
The key.
Focus today, an hour you need to strengthen your faith and stay informed.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove, where Jerry Bilden kind of hobbles in here and sits down.
I show up. You know what they say, 80% of success is just
being
showing up.
There you go. Anyway, good morning to you. Did you see it?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was there, and I looked up and I went, hey, there's a lunar eclipse going on right now.
Yeah, about, I would say a half hour ago, you could, if you were outside, you could have seen it. There was a beautiful moon rise last night, and we had this full moon. And then about an hour or so ago, it started to have an eclipse with the Earth, and then you could watch it kind of go right past, and now it's back to full moon again.
Well, see, last night I was doing stuff, and I was out in the front, and I saw the moon coming up. It was this big, full moon. It was amazing. So this morning, I go walking out, my car's running, you know, and I go walking out, and I look up. Actually, I'm backing out, and I look up, and I see this thing, and the moon's half covered, but there's a curve to it. And I thought, hey, it was full. That's a lunar eclipse. That's the curvature of the Earth right there.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, you know, I'm heading out, and I'm going down Elk Creek Road, and I didn't know about it. So I grabbed Siri, and I say, hey, Siri, is there a lunar eclipse tonight? And Siri informs me that it will give me all the information as soon as I'm done driving. I'm not kidding. As soon as I'm done driving, it'll give me the information.
Really?
Yes. I've never come upon that with Siri before.
Well, Siri interrupts my out loud prayers.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
What does that tell you about Siri?
You.
What does Siri think it is?
I don't know. Well, anyway, we did experience a lunar eclipse here about 45 minutes or so ago, and it was pretty nice. The moon is just beautiful out there. So we do have some low clouds in the valley this morning, and it's moving around. I did hear a plane take off, then it socked in.
Okay.
Then it moves up, then it moves down, so it's kind of moving around.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not bad here, but if you head north,
it's thick.
Yeah, up Table Rock Road, you'll catch it, but especially out Agate is just blanketed right now, so be careful on the north
And you'll
side.
come down through it.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you'll come down.
Absolutely.
All right, good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. There always is. Day 4 or 5 is Iran is being attacked from all angles, and a lot of fallout from the war, as you can imagine. People yelling and screaming, hopping and hollering.
Gas prices going up. Yeah.
All that stuff, a lot of commentary there. If you're not careful, you'll go crazy with it.
Yeah.
But again, I think our duty is, first of all, prayer that God's will be done in all of this. And if you leave that out of the equation, you're going to have a bad day. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you. What do you got?
Oh, you're going to love this. It's National I Want You to Be Happy Day. What would it take?
Are you ordering that?
No. I just something I want. It's a desire. What would make you happy today?
Oh, another hour sleep.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. It encourages us to do something that makes others happy. If you have someone in mind and something in mind,
Buy him See's chocolate.
Yeah, buy him See's chocolate. Nuts and Chews is a great way to start. All right.
Works every time.
And I have a few things to eat. That's all we're going to do the rest of the day is eat because it's National Pancake Day.
Ooh.
And this is really has a lot to do with IHOP. IHOP restaurants began National Pancake Day in 2006. Since that day, they've been raising money for charities, and they've raised close to $30 million.
Really?
And so if you go into IHOP today, part of your proceeds goes to charity, but if you can't get to IHOP, make your own. It's Pancake Day.
Make your pancake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also National Soup It Forward Day, encouraging us to deliver love and kindness by the bowlful. Do you eat soup?
Yes.
What kind of soup do you like?
Well,
not split pea, I know, but what do you like?
if you go to Market of Choice here, they always have about 4 soups every day. You can scoop up what you want. Usually chicken noodles, something else, something else.
Yeah.
You know, cheddar, broccoli cheddar's good and all that. But I think one of my favorite soups is salmon chowder.
Salmon. Oh, that sounds good. When we were away last week, we went in and we got a bunch of supplies and stuff. And when Pam was unpacking it, she looked and she goes, "Lobster bisque. Ooh. Who bought this?" I said, "I did."
Over here?
Yeah, I shoved it in the back. No, it was in one of these in Reno. And so I said, "I did." And it was so good. So that kind of makes me think in those terms. Yeah, absolutely. It's also one last thing. It is National Cold Cuts Day.
Okay.
Call them lunch meats, deli meats, sandwich meats, or cold cuts. Some like them thick, while others like to stack them a mile high. Others just like them with cheese and crackers. However you like them. National Cold Cuts Day was made for a sandwich and snack makers, and they are cold cuts, a staple of American cuisine. We spend about $2 billion annually on meats. Iconic examples include bologna, named after an Italian city, and pastrami, with the New York deli, like Carnegie Deli, serving up to 10,000 pounds weekly. 10,000 pounds of cold cuts. Turkey cold cuts are also widely produced, with plants processing 12 to 15 million turkeys annually for turkey cold cuts.
So what do you call those boards?
Yeah, the cutting board?
No, with all the stuff on it.
Oh, platter? I don't know.
Yeah,
serving platter?
We have all the cold cuts on and everything. It has a weird name.
Does it really? Okay.
Yeah. And it comes with the cheese and the cold cuts. And I know all the women are yelling at us right now.
I know. I don't
a charcuterie or something.
I don't know. What? Hey, you guys, what is it? Anybody?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie. Okay. Hey, it's a nice platter with nice cold cuts on it.
Well, there's a new franchise business here in town.
What?
And it's called Gaze Blaze or Blaze Gaze or something like that. And you can go in there and order these charcuterie boards any size you want.
Gaze Blaze?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, come on. I don't know. I'm butchering that. But I stopped in there the other day.
Okay.
And it's pretty neat.
Is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you can order any size for any kind of an event, you know.
Yeah.
And so they put it all in there, the cheese, the crackers, the cold cuts.
Do they have one with peppers on it?
Peppers? Yeah. They got olives. They got all of it.
We need jalapeno and,
Yeah. Charcuterie.
Now, the only thing about cold cuts is they're not for everybody.
Yeah.
They're not.
Well, then the everybody's that don't like them, have a nice day. We'll eat yours.
Because there are some health risks that come with cold cuts.
Yeah, I guess
They're
so.
highly processed. They have a lot of sodium and preservative. There's a downside to it, but while you can enjoy, it is National Cold Cuts Day. Just
All right.
for you.
All right.
That's all I got.
Is that?
That's it.
Speaking of baloney, here he is doing the weather.
Here's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, clouds thicken with rain by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then steady rain at night, breezy at times with lows in the upper 40s. Down the Willamette Valley, expect cloudy skies with rain likely by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then a wet night with on and off rain and mild lows in the mid to upper 40s. Across central Oregon and into Boise, expect a dry, partly sunny day, highs in the mid to upper 50s in Bend and Prineville and near 60 in Boise, then cloudy with rain late Tuesday night. Along the Oregon coast from Coos Bay to Brookings and Crescent City, California, expect a rainy day with highs in the mid-50s, then an active night with rain, showers, and a chance of thunderstorms. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland see morning fog, then partial sun with highs near 60, Klamath Falls mid-50s, and clouds thickening as rain moves in Tuesday night. Across Northern California's interior, Wairika, Redding, Chico, and Sacramento are mostly sunny and warm, highs in the upper 60s to near 70, with clouds increasing late and a chance of showers mainly around Wairika and Redding. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa, Napa, San Francisco, and San Jose are partly to mostly sunny after some North Bay fog, highs in the mid to upper 60s with increasing clouds Tuesday night but staying dry and comfortable. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
There's a picture of our valley. We have some high-low clouds, if I can put it that way.
High-low clouds. I like that.
Yeah, so you come down through it.
Yeah.
Then you get down on the valley floor, and it seems to be high.
I'm going to have to...
So hold them up. So there goes a plane. Right. So
I would call you eagle eye, but that's eagle ear.
no, there you go.
Good job.
That means that the minimums are it's above minimums. So
Okay.
they're taking off.
So they're
that's
taking
good.
off.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
I love it. Well, that's encouraging.
Okay.
But I have more with Pastor Jack Graham.
He was a rock, but he was an unstable rock at this point. And he denied the Lord. He failed miserably. And he went away sorrowful, figuring it was all over. Christ died. But then something changed Peter's life, and that was the cross and the resurrection. He was an eyewitness, he said, to this glory. And he's an eyewitness to all of us that it's real. But the Christian life is to be lived in this kind of humility, because God resists the proud. He uses the phrase, clothe yourselves with humility. And it's an unusual word. It's the only time this word is used in the New Testament. And it means to put on a wrap or put on an apron. As the wrap or the apron of a slave, of a servant. It's what Jesus did. When he stripped down his outer clothing and girded up with a towel and washed the feet of those disciples. Why? Because for the Savior and those who follow him with steadfast sacrificial love, servant leadership, no task, even washing feet, is too menial, too lowly for the humble servants of God. And so Paul would later say, I am what I am by the grace of God. We know we are who we are because of God's grace, not ourselves. All that we have comes from God.
You know, he received a milestone award at the NRB 2 weeks ago, and got to talk to him on a couple of occasions. There's so many people moving around, so you get a chance to bump into these people and talk to him. He really is a humble guy. He's really a super guy, and he's been very faithful. He's one of those true American pastors that have just stuck to the job, stuck to the word, stuck to the vitality of the word.
All right.
Just a champion of a guy. Good guy all the way around. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories this morning. And, of course, The complaints about the war are continuing across the landscape and media. I was just telling Jerry, if you are on social media has been inundated by fake AI stuff.
Yeah.
From pictures to videos to headlines. And you have got to be aware of the fact that if you're on any of the social media platforms, there is a very high probability that you're being lied to. And you have to double check this stuff. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm talking all platforms that are out there. In the meantime, I think the president kind of nailed his critics yesterday. And if you remember yesterday, we played the prayer of Dr. Anthony George on the knees with his congregation.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that prayer, he said this, and I'm paraphrasing. We know that people hate President Trump, and we know that people like President Trump, but our duty as believers we are to pray for him. Okay. Well, there are people who oppose him no matter what. They oppose him because his last name is Trump. And yesterday, I think the president, out of his frustration, I can't imagine, I don't think he's had much sleep lately. He doesn't sleep anyway, but I think he's even had less. And he said, what most people understand is that they're only complaining about the war with Iran because I did it. And if I didn't do it, they would be screaming, why didn't Trump attack Iran?
You know what? That's perfect rationale.
So I think the president summed up the critics. Iran, you're going to hear from Marco Rubio a little bit later on. Right. Iran was a threat beyond threats to the United States and to the world.
Yeah.
And most of us sitting here in the West on our lovely little couches, we didn't understand that. And the intelligence have proved that. So the president yesterday just basically said, had I not done it, they would have screamed. And now that I did do it, they're screaming anyway. So kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Secretary of State Marco Rubio outlines why it's important to attack Iran. And first one is, it was an imminent threat. Here's what he had to say.
And the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
Absolutely right.
See, I don't think people understood that, how much of an imminent threat that it is, and its proxies around the world. Now, this is another, well, I can get off on it. I really find it interesting, though, yesterday, a lot of the faith community starts to weigh in. A lot of people who study prophecy weighed in yesterday.
Okay. All right.
Even Greg Laurie weighed in yesterday about prophecy and the taking of the Ayatollah. Let me just say, how can I say it so I don't get in trouble? I believe in prophecy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we're a result of prophecy.
Absolutely.
The Bible, 1/3 of it's prophecy.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a little problem with people that get in your face and say you have to believe it this way. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And in the old days, what did they do with false prophets?
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Uh-oh, yeah.
So biblical prophecy should be respected and handled very, very carefully.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Climate change prophecy is something entirely different.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Because we should have been out of here a couple of years ago, according to all the prophets.
Yeah, according to Al.
Yeah, well, you know, Senator Golden and some of these other people have said that we were, you know, fried bacon in 10 years, and so none of that's really happened.
Right.
Well, in the meantime, the State Department has urged Americans to immediately leave more than a dozen countries, and here's Marco Rubio on that one.
At the Department of State, our #1 priority is the safety and the security of American citizens everywhere in the world. Now, with what's going on in the Middle East with Operation Epic Fury and the cowardly attacks that we're seeing from Iran against Gulf countries, I wanted to take this chance to speak directly to Americans who are in the Middle East about the work we are doing to try to keep you safe. So immediately following the beginning of this operation, at my direction, the State Department activated a 24/7 task force, surging personnel and resources necessary to help provide American citizens with up-to-the-minute safety and security information. Now, in order to receive these updates from the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate, you have to register with the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. You have to register with STEP, and here's where you do it. You go to step.state.gov. That's step.state.gov and register so we can reach you. We also encourage Americans abroad to follow our security updates for U.S. citizens channel on WhatsApp and follow @TravelGov on social media as well.
All right, let me just say this. Be wise. If you're traveling, be wise. A lot of people have canceled trips, and they should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you need to be vigilant. You need to be on top of this stuff like we've never been on top of it before. I was telling Jerry a little bit what we haven't heard, what's going on in Mexico with the cartels burning everything up.
Right.
I know that they had a lot of travelers and vacationers down there. They were trying to safely get them out. We're living in a very tense time in the world. It's serious business. You need to take it seriously. You need to understand that God is involved in this, and He understands what's going on. You need to get a hold of your spiritual self, or you will lose yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you need to understand where we are spiritually in all this and what God is saying and doing. But for the most part, be smart. Parents, do you know where your kids are?
Yeah. Do you know what they're looking at?
Be smart. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And so anyway, in the meantime, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth urges U.S. troops to stay focused. Now, it's not as if they're not. I will say one thing. I did notice yesterday, where did I read that? Gosh, I read so much stuff I don't even know where I read it. But since the war broke out, inquiries into enlistment is like through the roof.
You know, it's interesting that you would mention that, because we speculated before that enlistments would go up, and of course, there you go.
These are young men are looking for leadership.
Yes.
Young men are looking for boundaries. Young men are looking for reason, and they want to know that it's okay to be a man.
Right. Right.
You know,
they want the cause to be a just cause.
A just cause.
Yes.
Anyway, here's what Secretary Higgs have to say about that.
Let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be, focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable.
Wow.
Well, look, these are just so interesting times.
Yeah.
I will say this, that our military has proven to be the best in the world, and it's something to be reckoned with. And I'm glad that all of this nonsense and this socialization and this wokeness got kicked out.
Yeah.
And they're doing what they've been hired to do.
That is so right on the money when you say our military is the best in the world. I was listening to an interview on NPR, and the host was not really friendly to the person that she was interviewing, who was a conservative analyst in all things military. And he was talking about the fact that the U.S. military right now is positioned in a place that we have rarely been in. We are by far the most superior military in the world, the most superior we have ever been in this country. The difference now is that we have an administration with the will to use it.
Yeah.
Yep, and they do.
Well, anyway, above and beyond all this, be praying for our military, no matter where they're dispatched around the world. These are very troubling times. This has got a long ways to go yet before it would be considered finished. And there's a part of the president's speech we need to remember, and let me just say, if I could paraphrase it, the one that he gave at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
He said to the citizens of Iran, we're giving you your country back. This is your one opportunity in a generation to take your country back.
Yeah.
We are going to give you your country back. That's not nation building.
Right, right.
So by wiping out the threat of the United States and Israel, we're freeing a people at the same time. And you can see it in the streets. And you can see it in the streets of America.
Yeah.
American Iranians are all over waving the flag.
Yes, right.
It's pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a, what do we have today?
We got cold cuts, we got soup, and we got pancakes. What do you want?
Cold cuts, soup, and pancakes. You know what? That's all 3 meals, isn't it?
It is. We got it covered, man.
All right, let's go with pancakes.
Okay, all right.
Be right back.
I'm in.
My life is my sacrifice, daily surrendered, and I lift my voice.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back. 25 minutes past the hour. A couple of stories going on in our own backyard. Our own legislature is wrapping up a special session. There's a couple things here that I want us to be aware of. And folks, you get so tired of nonsense, you just don't know what to do. It could drive you over the edge. You got to be careful here. But our legislature, in many ways, is out of control. I know there's good people up there, and I know there's good Christians up there, and they're trying their best, and they're in the system, and they're working hard, and we need to pray for them. But when you got a supermajority like we have in the state of California, the state of Oregon, and the state of Washington, nonsense prevails. And here's another one. The Oregon bill now came out yesterday. It's House Bill 4079. Oregon's taking steps to ensure schools are prepared when ICE agents visit the campus. And it mandates that the schools notify family, students, and staff where immigration enforcement agents are confirmed to be on school grounds.
We've lost our mind.
And here's what it says. For many students, academic worries are taking backseat to the fear caused by ICE. Now, this is a bill going through our legislature that will probably get signed into law. Okay? Now, folks, let me just remind you that our academic records and performance in the state of the Oregon is somewhere between 48 and 50.
Yeah, we're about as bad as you can get. Yep.
And now they're ensuring this is psychological warfare, telling your kids that ICE is to be feared.
Right. And who is causing the fear? the administration. The bill. Yes, it's nobody else.
Now, one other little thing here, folks. You can't give up on this step. All right. The House yesterday did pass 31-20 to move the controversial citizens referendum bill about increasing gas tax from November ballot to the May ballot. And the governor is expected to sign it today. This is in hopes that a low turnout in May would ensure that the bill won't go anywhere. Well, I got news for you, Governor Kotek. We're going to come out in a force like you've never seen before in a midterm.
All right.
And this has to be the message for all citizens across the state. You got to remember something. 87% of the citizens in the state of Oregon don't want this bill.
Okay. All right.
They don't want this gas tax.
Yeah.
And we have got to put this down. We have got to have one of the highest turnouts in the May primary that we've ever seen in our state. And the fact that we were able to get the referendum with 200-something thousand signatures in less than 30 days to get to the ballot to show the will of the people.
Yeah.
We can pull this off in May, and we need to do it.
Yep. What a great indicator.
So just shows you the superpower of a supermajority. They don't care about you.
No.
They don't care about the referendum. And there is one little catch to this whole thing.
What?
It could be sued and stopped.
Oh.
And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because they missed the requirement date that they themselves put into effect, that you have to have the information in order to be printed in the May primary voter pamphlet.
Oh. Oh.
Now, they're going to make an exception to their own rule.
Really?
Yes. So it's possible that it's on the ballot, but it's not in the pamphlet. Or the Republicans are going to sue the Democrats to stop the bill entirely from being in May. Whoa. But she did sign it. Or they did get through the House yesterday, and it's going to go to the governor for signature. But it just sets up a fight. This just shows you, folks, they don't care about you.
Right.
And they don't care about your wallet.
Right. No, they don't.
So we have got to fight this. And it's a possibility that there is a ambiguity in all of this. It could get it bumped out, and we'll see.
Do you think there will be a lawsuit?
Should be. But hey, we're in March.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't got enough time here.
Right. Right.
You have got to get this to a judge that says, can they do this? When the referendum clearly says it should go before the people in a general election, they moved it to a primary election. So you got to see if that bill is legitimate. And then are they going to interrupt their own bill? That if you don't have the information into the voters pamphlet by February 28th, your information doesn't get published in the voters pamphlet in order for people to say yes or no about the bill. You know, people get to write in and put their comments in there.
Dirty politics.
It's really raw, dirty politics, and these people don't really care about it. But guess what?
What?
If we were able to get 200-something thousand signatures in 30 days, we can get 300,000 or 400,000 people to show up on May 10th or whatever the primary is and shove this back down their throats.
Yes.
Excuse me.
How do you really
and
feel
that's
about
water.
it?
That's just water. That's not coffee or anything else.
No, I know.
Take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's going on. Explain it.
Well, it looks like we got stuff coming our way, right? And we do. We got 90% chance of showers tomorrow. But today, cloudy skies, a high of about 60. And then showers tomorrow, and then it's going to start clearing again and warming up by the weekend. Saturday, we're mid-60s. Sunday, a high of 68. Wow. But then it's going to start tapering back down a little bit. So, but boy, it is a little bit too warm, a little bit too soon. Anyway, well, on Newsmax's Wake Up America, General Wesley Clark assesses the success of Operation Epic Fury against the Iranian regime.
Very well planned, very well thought through. Still in the early stages. We're in this struggle to persuade the Iranians, whatever chain of command they have remaining, that they're going to lose. And we're going to continue to take out their targets, their ability to respond by missiles. We're going to take out their Navy. The Israelis are doing their part on this. And, this is an indeterminate duration operation. You can't set a specific timeline. What you have to do is exactly what General Kane said. You do the strikes, you do the battle damage assessment, you continue the strikes. We do have air superiority. We can go there and stay there, and they will be destroyed piece by piece. Now, the timing of that, how long it takes and so forth, it hasn't, it's just not predictable, at least not on an unclassified level. And it really depends on the stubbornness and the inability of the Iranian regime to see its dilemma. It needs to call a halt to its activities now and go back to the negotiating table with the president.
The president said a few moments ago that the Air Force and the Navy have been pretty much gone, wiped out, and he slams the door now on any further talks with leadership.
Oh.
So I think what he's saying, and the only thing left for you to do is surrender.
Yeah.
You can't have talks now with something that's weaker than what they were originally talking about.
I was going to say, if you have talks now, who do you even have talks with?
Well, you legitimize them by having talks.
Right.
So you don't have talks. You leave it alone, and you let it just fade out so that the citizens can rise up and take over.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Pancakes with a lot of butter.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure out what's syrup.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God, and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
Welcome back, and of course all eyes are still on the Middle East these days, and we're doing our best to stay on top of it too. CBN News and our partnership with them gives us the opportunity to get some inside information. And yesterday there was a little bit of a twist. What's left of a regime is now doing something they've always done, and that's hide behind citizens. You know, they hide in hospitals, they hide in schools, they hide in homes and stuff like that. Now they're hiding behind prisoners. So let's check in with CBN News Watch and get caught up.
What is happening on the ground right now inside Iran? Well, Iranian-American journalist Carmel Melamed joins us now. Carmel, tell us what you're hearing.
There's been nothing but celebration on the streets, excitement by the people. They're seeing this as their war of liberation. They're seeing America and Israel as their liberators. They're thanking the president. They're thanking Prime Minister Netanyahu for helping to get rid of and vanquish their oppressors. So there's a tremendous amount of appreciation for America, for Israel, for the administration. This is what they've been waiting for, Raj. This is what they've been asking for the past month. And they're thrilled that their day of liberation has come through. At the same time, there's a lot of nefarious activities going on by the regime and their officials. My contacts in Iran, particularly in Tehran, have been telling me that the regime has taken a lot of their prisoners, the political prisoners, and moved them into the buildings for the ministries of intelligence. It's kind of similar to Hamas after or during the Gaza war, where they took civilians and they used them as human shields. And it looks like the Ayatollah regime is doing the same thing with political prisoners. They're placing them within the intelligence ministry offices and buildings. So if the US or Israel strikes those buildings, those individuals will get killed, and then the regime can use them as propaganda pawns and say, look, the Americans and the Israelis have killed our innocent civilians. So that's a great point of concern by a lot of Iranians there. At the same time, we've seen a lot of videos from different individuals inside Iran showing the IRGC members fleeing into Afghanistan. They're actually leaving Iran. They are worried about their safety. So there's a lot of defections. It looks like there's some defections from within the ranks of the Revolutionary Guard Corps into Afghanistan. There have been reports that there were bombings in the bazaar in Tehran, and the regime is claiming through their propaganda outlets that that's Israel, that's America, but we all know that's bogus. Those were probably bombings that were placed by the regime in those areas. America and Israel have no reason to place bombs or bomb a bazaar, basically stores that sell goods and groceries. So I believe that if that was the case, that's because the regime is trying to, again, go with that Hamas propaganda effort and try to put the blame on America, put the blame on Israel, and say, they're killing our innocents. Look at these innocents. But it's staged, and it's probably carried out by the regime.
Well, we've seen that before, especially in Gaza with Hamas and all of that going on. So that's part of their tactic, is to take the innocent and use them as shields. Yeah. We'll have to see what's going on. But I'm just wondering if we have diplomatic corps there. Yeah, we have obviously intelligence there. Can you meet with these people and say, hey, look, the president's offering you immunity?
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Quit this nonsense. You got nothing left.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you were mentioning AI a little while ago, and we can hardly trust what we see anymore. I commented yesterday about the fact that we see people in the streets in Iran celebrating, Iranian women celebrating. We see
taking their garb off.
Yeah, women on the left in this in our country protesting. And I saw an interviewer go in front of a young protester saying, why are you protesting? And said, this is atrocities, this is horrible on the part of the United States. And he said, why are Iranian women and people celebrating in the streets? She said, that's a lie. Yeah. She goes, they're crying. The Iranian people are crying. And I thought, okay, I don't know who's looking at AI and what images they're seeing, but this is not what I'm seeing.
No, it is. You can't believe crazy.
You can't believe crazy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, speaking of which.
Here's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, clouds thicken with rain by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then steady rain at night, breezy at times with lows in the upper 40s. Down the Willamette Valley, expect cloudy skies with rain likely by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then a wet night with on and off rain and mild lows in the mid to upper 40s. Across central Oregon and into Boise, expect a dry, partly sunny day, highs in the mid to upper 50s in Bend and Prineville and near 60 in Boise, then cloudy with rain late Tuesday night. Along the Oregon coast from Coos Bay to Brookings and Crescent City, California, expect a rainy day with highs in the mid-50s, then an active night with rain, showers, and a chance of thunderstorms. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland see morning fog, then partial sun with highs near 60, Klamath Falls mid-50s, and clouds thickening as rain moves in Tuesday night. Across Northern California's interior, Wairika, Redding, Chico, and Sacramento are mostly sunny and warm, highs in the upper 60s to near 70, with clouds increasing late and a chance of showers mainly around Wairika and Redding. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa, Napa, San Francisco, and San Jose are partly to mostly sunny after some North Bay fog, highs in the mid to upper 60s with increasing clouds Tuesday night but staying dry and comfortable. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
Hey, there's Mount Ashland this morning. Rocks and snow.
Rocks and snow, more rocks than snow.
More rocks than snow.
Yeah.
Beautiful sight. Oh,
yeah,
gorgeous
it's a
picture.
gorgeous sight.
Yeah.
Now, this is bizarre, Perry. I saw this story and I thought, no, really? And I looked it up. And it has to do with a guy who played in the NFL who some considered at the time the greatest of all time, Terry Bradshaw. He was the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. In 1983, he had an arm issue and he wanted to go into the hospital to get it fixed while he was still in the NFL. But he didn't want to draw attention to himself, so he used a fake name. And it might have been the real GOAT. Check this weird coincidence out.
The Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback was scheduled for elbow surgery to repair muscle tears in his throwing arm, and to avoid a media circus, he used an alias, Tom Brady. Yep, Tom Brady. At the time, it was just a random, made-up name meant to keep reporters guessing. The surgery sidelined Bradshaw for the rest of the 1983 season, and he wouldn't return to the field until the following year. But here's the twist no one could have predicted. At the time, the real Tom Brady was only 5 years old, and nearly 2 decades later, Tom Brady would rise to superstardom, win 7 Super Bowls, and earn the title many fans call the GOAT, or the greatest of all time. So in one of the strangest coincidences in NFL history, a Hall of Fame quarterback once hid from the spotlight using the name of the man who would one day share it and perhaps even eclipse his legacy.
Can you believe that?
What a twisted story, really.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah. I thought, nah, this can't be true. I had to go look it up even deeper.
Did he ever figure out how he came up with the name just arbitrarily?
Just picked it out of the air.
Wow. Whoa. Ended up being providential.
Yeah, he's a little prophet himself, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Something weird.
All right.
Anyway.
Here's an interesting story. Michael Kruger from Crossway, which, by the way, is a great apologetics organization. And this is a good one for you. What's the difference between doubt and unbelief?
Oh.
Take a look.
If you've lived the Christian life very long as a believer, you know that every Christian at some point or another kind of has that moment in their life where they wonder whether the things they believe are really true. Maybe it's something you watched on TV or heard a podcast that raises that little tickle of doubt in your mind, and you have this thought, what if everything I believe is a lie, and that I'm really wrong, and Christianity is false, and that the non-Christian worldview is actually true? If you've ever had that moment of doubt, one thing to be comforted by is that that's a very normal experience in the Christian life. Doubting is not at all sort of unusual for the average believer to go through at some point in their life. And I often joke with people that if you've not had a moment of doubt, just wait. As life progresses and you find yourself living in a fallen world and facing the difficulties of life, eventually you'll have that doubt. And the Bible's filled with people who doubted. We, of course, think often of doubting Thomas as the classic example of this. But he's not the only person in the Bible who doubts. There's lots of people who wonder whether God is really doing what he'll say he'll do, whether he's really active. There's people who are on the border of despair. I think of Elijah who thinks, there's no hope, just take my life, God. Certainly there's people in the Bible who don't believe, and the disciples doubted often. So you should be encouraged to know that when you doubt, God is very compassionate on doubters. This line in Jude, have mercy on those who doubt. Christ is very gentle, very patient with those who doubt, and very gentle and patient with Thomas, and very gentle and patient with the disciples, and very gentle and patient with us. So the first thing to say about doubt is that if you doubt and have a struggle at some point about whether you believe what you believe, it's not as if something really wrong with you, right? This is a normal part of the Christian life. The other thing to understand about doubt is it doesn't mean you suddenly become a non-Christian, right? It's not the same thing as not believing. Doubt is a form of struggle. It's a form of battle. It's a form of holding on to what you believe. And so the thing to realize about doubt is that, first of all, it's very normal. Second thing to note about doubt is that we ought to resist it, right? We ought to fight against it. We ought to strive towards confidence in the promises of God. So we want to avoid what we could call doubt shaming on the one hand, but we also want to avoid, on the other hand, what might be called doubt celebrating, right? We don't want to encourage doubt. We don't want to revel in our doubt. We want to work towards confidence in what God has said and what promises he's made. So if you struggle with doubt, there's lots of reasons to be confident. The Word of God has proven itself time and time over the generations of God's people. And God has proven himself in your life time and time again. If you were to go back and look at prayer requests and look at the way he's blessed you and kept you and preserved you, you'll see God's faithfulness. So there's many things to latch onto to give you hope. And so rather than focusing on the things that you struggle with, focus on the things you hope in and focus most of all on the person of Christ himself.
All right.
Outstanding.
Well, food for thought. I think we all have those moments, you know?
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a quick pancake break. We'll be right back.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
All right, welcome back. 10 minutes before the hour, I had Brad Dacus on. Met with him. We had quite a few meetings at the NRB a couple of weeks ago. He's with Pacific Justice Institute, and he had a couple of significant wins, one in Texas and one in Oregon. And here's what he had to say.
Yeah, actually, they were real significant wins. In Oregon, I will tell you what happened was a superintendent decided to violate the rights of parents. He canceled the graduation ceremony because he wanted a perfect 100% graduating. So said, okay, there's no graduation ceremony until all the students qualify. Well, he had grandparents fly in from out of town, and suddenly no graduation ceremony. Well, some parents were upset about that, and they let their voice be heard. Well, the superintendent was terrible, so he punished their First Amendment rights by retribution against the children of those parents. He lowered their grades. One was a valedictorian. She was no longer a valedictorian. They issued cease and desist orders against them, threats of actions against the parents, had them physically removed from a public board meeting. It was outrageous. Well, we at Pacific Justice Institute, we stepped in. You can't have retribution against parents because they speak out against the school board, what they're doing, and have that against the children. So we filed a lawsuit. It took a long time, a lot of hard work, but that jury and that Texas jury came back with a $7.5 million judgment most of it against that superintendent in his personal capacity. And needless to say, he's no longer a superintendent there. He's now at, I think, Hitchcock School District near Galveston. But it was a fantastic win for parents' rights, for free speech rights, and just for flat out justice for these families. And hopefully it sends a message to school boards across the country that if you engage in violating the rights of parents like this and bring retribution against children, you're gonna have to pay from Pacific Justice Institute, because we have offices all over the country, and we won't put up with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are big wins.
Oh, goodness.
Things are moving, and I would say that the medical community is on tilt now with the win over these lawsuits about transgender surgery.
Gosh, yes.
And you're going to see the medical community, hospitals and clinics and everything else begin to go into the retreat mode, because the litigation door is wide open now.
You know what? I can't even imagine, how did the AMA lose their way so badly, but now we see it, as you say, in corrective mode.
And now, the only thing I can say to all of us on this, your peaceful activism does work.
Yeah.
You got to stay at it. You got to stay vigilant. You got to stay at these things. And common sense is winning, and craziness is losing. It's just that's the equation that's out there.
Yeah.
We got to stay at it. Crazy loses in the end.
I like that.
All right, I got some great guests coming up. Professor Murray Sabrin will be with us. He's not too high on the president's economic plan.
Oh.
So he kind of gives a little bit of a different take on that. Okay. Some things are good, some things are not so good. Right. Pastor Mark Little will be with us. Have you ever been taught to pray with authority? Now, this is a ticklish
Yes, that is.
Are you telling God what to do?
Oh, my goodness. That puts a whole new kind of flavor on it.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a controversial in Christendom as to whether or not you can command things to happen. Okay, so we'll kind of get into these troubled waters.
Okay.
We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later.
Please. All right. Well, this is good. We love her. For decades, Dolly Parton has used her success to lift up children. She sends them books, funding research, and helps families when they need it most. And now that lifelong mission has taken a deeply personal honor. The East Tennessee Children's Hospital has officially been renamed the Dolly Parton Children's Hospital, recognizing her unwavering support of pediatric care in her home state. Parton says she's always believed every child deserves the chance to grow up healthy, hopeful, and surrounded by love. Her impact stretches far beyond one building. Through her Dollywood Foundation's Imagination Library, she sends more than 3 million free books each month to children around the world. She also donated $1 million to Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Hospital leaders call this a generational collaboration that will transform care for decades to come. For a woman who has spent her life investing in children's futures, having her name on a children's hospital may be one of her most meaningful legacies yet. Unbelievable. That is just fantastic. Yeah.
Well, I think if we would just get government out of so many things and let true charity take over, things get done better and more efficiently.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day about we call them parachurch ministries.
Yes.
Here in Southern Oregon. And the work that they do. I was looking at Youth 71.5 and what they're doing. I look over here at Rock, what they're doing. I look over here at Recovery Cafe, what they're doing. I look over here at Salvation Army, what they're doing. I look over here at Food Access. I mean, you can go across the board. There's all kinds of things out there. And I'm realizing that they're really doing the work of serving the community that the government thinks it can do better. And it can't.
Right.
Just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Encourage them. Let them go. Let them do their stuff, okay? Yep. All right. A lot going on. Pancake Day. Do you like syrup?
Yeah. What color?
Well, what flavor do you like?
Well, maple's good. Do you like real maple syrup, or do you like the stuff that resembles maple syrup?
I like them both.
Yeah.
But the real has a little bit of a tart taste to it.
It does. It's a little thinner, too. Some people like that Mrs. Buttersworth thing.
Yeah.
It gets a little thick. But anyway, either way, have fun.
I have Secretary of War's scripture of the day.
Oh.
1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Amen.
You gave your life for mine to have me by your side. I won't look back.
They're fun-loving twins. They love God, hunting, and pranking each other. Join the Hamptons for outdoor adventure every weekend on Twin Factor. Brought to you by Black Flag Armory in Medford and Grants Pass. Truly excellent service.
The Pregnancy Center in Medford is a place of hope, providing free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, options counseling, and support to help women make informed, empowered choices. The Pregnancy Center is growing, hiring registered nurses to join our compassionate team. Work in a supportive environment where you can truly make a difference. No ultrasound experience? No problem. We'll train you in limited ultrasonography, a valuable new skill set for your career. To learn more, visit thepregnancycenter.us. Thepregnancycenter.us.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
We have a divine obligation to teach our children the truth of God's Word so that they'll be equipped to face life and understand that they are children of God. He has a will for their life, a plan for their life, and it's the parents' responsibility to introduce them to the Lord. And every following generation has the same responsibility. We have a responsibility to teach our sons and daughters. Our sons and daughters have the responsibility to teach their sons and daughters. And they have the responsibility to teach their sons and daughters. And no place in the Bible does it say we can have a generation gap when it comes to teaching the Word of God.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Welcome home to the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Monday, Tuesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove, where Jerry comes to work and gets his kicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
With only his left foot.
Yeah, I'm only kicking one-footed these days. Yeah, good point.
Anyway, good morning to you. Nice view of our valley this morning.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, a little bit of a sunrise there. People want to know where that's at?
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Okay, you guess. We'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Anyway,
it's pretty, though.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. A lot going on in the news, and we'll try our best to keep you on top of it.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, pretty interesting. But did you see it?
I did. I didn't know.
I didn't know what it was until you told me.
I got up. I saw the moon rising last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was big. It was just full. It was. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I come out this morning and I look, and half of it's covered up with a curve, and I thought, wait a minute. that's an eclipse. That's the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if there was an eclipse. And I'm pulling out in my car, and I'm driving down the driveway. I say, "Hey Siri, is there a lunar eclipse taking place right now?" It said, "I will answer your question when you're done driving." I am not kidding you.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was stunned. So I had to wait all the way till I got here. I got out of my car, I asked it again, and then it gave me the full rundown on the blood moon eclipse that we have.
Okay.
But it wouldn't tell me while I was driving.
Well, that's good.
Ay, ay, ay.
You're already driving with one foot anyway. So I was. Peggy and I were having dinner last night. I said, "Honey, look at this. Look at the moon coming. It was coming up alongside of the Mount McLaughlin, you know.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of snow at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And then had one of those circular clouds.
Oh yeah.
Below the tip.
I love
and
those.
the moon. And then it just got bigger and bigger. I thought, wow, isn't that beautiful? And then when I drove in this morning, I got out of my truck and I turned around and go, whoa.
What happened?
A lunar eclipse.
I didn't even know it.
Yeah. So anyway, it all happened a couple hours ago. Anyway, good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. We'll get that to you. Anything special?
Well, it's a big day if you want to be happy, because it's National I Want You to Be Happy Day. Really? Encouraging us to do something.
You're going to be happy. You're going to like it.
If you like it or not. Stand in that corner until you're happy.
That's basically it.
Encouraging us to do something that makes others happy. Right. So think about it. It's also, we have 3 things to eat today. National Pancake Day. Ooh. And this really has to do with the charity and IHOP. IHOP restaurants began National Pancake Day in 2006. And since that day, they've raised close to $30 million for charities. So today is the day that they collect money at IHOP. And on National Pancake Day, have as much as you feel like you can take. Good luck with that. What kind of syrup?
Well, you know, I guess maple's kind of, I like the Butterworth thing, which is totally not good for you.
I know, but it's got that thick texture.
I like real maple.
I do too.
I like every once in a while apricot.
Okay, all right.
Or blueberry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So anyway,
we got this syrup. I don't know if I can have it or not, though. I look at it. I haven't tasted it yet. Somebody gave it to us as a gift. It's maple syrup aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm looking on it. It was like, no, there's no proof on this. It's like,
hey, Doug. Is there an addiction to bourbon lace syrup?
Syrup?
Yes.
Yes.
You're toast.
Thanks, Doug. Moving on, it is National Soup It Forward Day, encouraging us to deliver love and kindness by the bowlful, whatever kind you like. Enjoy. Do you have a favorite soup?
Well, I like a variety of soups. I love Peggy's chicken noodle soup. That's my favorite. But I've also come to enjoy salmon chowder.
Oh,
I like clam chowder. But salmon chowder is good.
Oh, we just recently had lobster bisque. That's really good. And you know what else is really good?
Is that from the Big C?
That's from the Big C.
Okay.
Yep. And you can count on it. Okay. And then also, you know, there are others out there like taco soup. Have you ever had a good taco soup?
Yes.
Oh man, they're good.
Yeah,
that's good.
There's another name for them. What do they call them?
The Mexican tortilla soup.
Tortilla soup.
Tortilla soup. Yep, exactly. All right. And one last thing, have it pile it high. It's National Cold Cuts Day. Oh. You can call them lunch meats, deli meats, sandwich meats, or cold cuts. Some like them thick, others stack them a mile high, and others just like them with cheese and crackers. But however you like them, National Cold Cuts Day was made for a sandwich and snack maker's delight. Cold cuts are a staple in American cuisine, and we spend about $2 billion on them annually. And of course, you can have bologna, named after an Italian city, or pastrami. And with New York delis like Carnegie Deli serving up to 10,000 pounds every week. Turkey cold cuts are also widely produced, with plants processing 12 to 15 million turkeys annually just for cold cuts. That's not on your Thanksgiving, plate or table, but it's all cold cuts. So however you like it and whatever flavor you like, enjoy. Some people, especially people at certain points in their life, have to quit eating too much cold cuts, but it's a hard habit to break.
Well, I finally figured out it's called charcuterie.
Charcuterie, that's that platter.
It's a platter with all the cold cuts on it.
Okay.
Now you can make them, but there's this new business in town. It's a franchise thing. I want to call Blaze Gaze or Blaze Gaze or Gaze Days or Blazer. I'm sure the people over there just rolled over.
P. Atkinson.
Don't ask me to promote your business because I'm going to mess it up.
Hey, Blades, what?
Well, it's Blaze Gaze or something like that anyway. But that's what they do. And they fix these up, these charcuterie boards, and they'll deliver them to you.
Really?
So if you're having a party, I mean, it's all done. I mean, it's pretty slick. But you put a plate full of cheese, crackers, and salami and olives in front of a bunch of guys, it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Enjoy it. Charcuterie.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. All I know is it's a platter. It's a meat platter. Right?
What did Blake say it was? An adult lunch or something?
Yeah. What did Blake? Yeah, he said it's a.
What did he say it was?
I got it right here. Yeah. You know, we are on a roll when we do this. He said it's just an adult lunch table. An adult lunch table.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Enjoy. That's all I got.
All right, good stuff all the way around. Well, you speaking of baloney? There he is.
Here's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, clouds thicken with rain by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then steady rain at night, breezy at times with lows in the upper 40s. Down the Willamette Valley, expect cloudy skies with rain likely by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then a wet night with on and off rain and mild lows in the mid to upper 40s. Across central Oregon and into Boise, expect a dry, partly sunny day, highs in the mid to upper 50s in Bend and Prineville and near 60 in Boise, then cloudy with rain late Tuesday night. Along the Oregon coast from Coos Bay to Brookings and Crescent City, California, expect a rainy day with highs in the mid-50s, then an active night with rain, showers, and a chance of thunderstorms. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland see morning fog, then partial sun with highs near 60, Klamath Falls mid-50s, and clouds thickening as rain moves in Tuesday night. Across Northern California's interior, Wairika, Redding, Chico, and Sacramento are mostly sunny and warm, highs in the upper 60s to near 70, with clouds increasing late and a chance of showers mainly around Wairika and Redding. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa, Napa, San Francisco, and San Jose are partly to mostly sunny after some North Bay fog, highs in the mid to upper 60s with increasing clouds Tuesday night but staying dry and comfortable. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
All right, we do have some high-low clouds, if I can put it that way. If you're coming in from the north or down out of some of the foothills, you'll go through a little bit of some thick fog. And then when you get underneath it, it's not quite down on the ground. The planes have been taking off here this morning, but it's moving around, and there's a picture of it right there. So hopefully in a couple hours, well, the moon's already back to full.
Yep, yeah. It's all done. That's probably gone down by now, but that's a pretty shot.
Yeah, really nice.
Be careful. You know, I think we've all had this happen to us. You wake up in the middle of the night, something is pressing on you. Mm-hmm. Something's pushing down on you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Get the dog off.
Get the dog off. Get away from me.
Get the dog off.
You know, it's interesting. When I wake up sometimes like that, see, I don't have a dog in my bed. So I don't have
you're missing it, man.
I don't have a good reason for this.
No, you're missing it. You got to have a dog between you and Pam. Yeah.
And I do. And you actually get into some great prayer time at those times because you realize, you know, Lord, I can't deal with this myself. I have to give this up. And I got to tell you the truth. It happened last night. I woke up, and unfortunately for us, the middle of the night is when we get up. And I woke up and I thought, what's wrong? What's bugging me? What's pushing on me? And I thought, nothing. I don't feel anything pushing on my soul right now. Nothing's worrying me, God. God, why did I wake up? And I look over at the alarm and I was like, well, it's because your alarm's going to ring in 1 minute.
Oh.
It's time to get up.
Yeah.
I thought, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Yeah. But with that in mind, Pastor Jack Graham is here with great encouragement. And he looks to Scripture to remind us to cast all your cares onto the Lord.
Once again, verse 7 tells us to cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. All your anxious care, give it to him. Pray pray and give it to him. When we have problems and struggles and battles and burdens that we fight, we can cast them to him. And the word cast here, again, Peter's using some vivid imagination by the Holy Spirit here. It means a word, it's a word that means to throw it down. And even to throw it down with violence. Throw it down. So God says, take your cares, take your concerns, take all your anxieties and pray them down, throw them down, give them to me, because either you will carry them or he will carry them. And the one who carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, the one who carried the cross, can carry your burdens and your concerns. Maybe one of your silent anxieties is to worry, does God really care for me? I'm going through this trial, this suffering, this pain. Does God care for me? I hear these testimonies about God's care and God's concern, but maybe you're secretly wondering and worrying and even fearfully doubting, does God care for me? Look at the cross. Go there. And God says, I love you, I care for you this much. And throw them down, give them to him.
Mm-hmm. You know, easier said than done.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But there's a principle here, and that is, are you willing to let go?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. By the way, he was honored at the NRB a couple of weeks ago for a life service award, and rightfully so. He's just one of the champions of the faith. Jack Graham is. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And of course, what's going on in the Middle East is still very much in the headlines, and a good possibility you've kept up with it. But let me just give you a couple of highlights. The president, as you would imagine, is getting pushed back from the left, from all different directions from the left. But he kind of summed up the problem. He said, you know, what most people understand is that they're only complaining because he did it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Had he not done it, they would have been screaming, why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
And that pretty much categorizes. And the other thing is, coming up in a little bit, you will hear from Secretary of State, the threat that Iran was not only to Israel and the Middle East, but to the world. And the fact now that they're lobbing missiles over the fence to anybody around them, just shows you who they really, really are. It's pretty bad. So with that in mind, Secretary Marco Rubio outlines why it was important for us to strike Iran. And here's what he had to say.
And the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage. Had we not done so, there would have been hearings on Capitol Hill about how we knew that this was going to happen, and we didn't act preemptively to prevent more casualties and more loss of life.
Yep.
He's spot on with that.
Yep.
So in the meantime, there is warnings all over the world that Americans should evaluate where they are, what country they're in, and he's actually saying through the State Department, he's putting out to citizens in the Middle East, leave. Yeah. And here's what he had to say about that.
At the Department of State, our #1 priority is the safety and the security of American citizens everywhere in the world. Now, with what's going on in the Middle East with Operation Epic Fury and the cowardly attacks that we're seeing from Iran against Gulf countries, I wanted to take this chance to speak directly to Americans who are in the Middle East about the work we are doing to try to keep you safe. So immediately following the beginning of this operation, at my direction, the State Department activated a 24/7 task force, surging personnel and resources necessary to help provide American citizens with up-to-the-minute safety and security information. Now, in order to receive these updates from the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate, you have to register with the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. You have to register with STEP, and here's where you do it. You go to step.state.gov. That's step.state.gov. .gov and register so we can reach you. We also encourage Americans abroad to follow our security updates for U.S. Citizens channel on WhatsApp and follow @TravelGov on social media as well.
All right, there you go. So be wise, be careful, be vigilant. We need to be on top of things. So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, in the meantime, Secretary of War Hegseth says to the U.S. troops, stay focused, and here's what he had to say.
Let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris, my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be, focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable.
Pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful. Now, let me ask you this, Perry. I think some have wondered if perhaps Secretary Hegseth is a little bit young or maybe a little bit green for the job, but he certainly has a warrior's ethos, and he seems to be the right guy for the job at this point in time. What do you think?
Well, I've heard those comments, but it appears to me that, and I don't know how else to say this, but he seems to be maturing on the job quickly.
Okay.
He's handling it very well, and I think he has restored the warrior spirit back into the War Department, which was needed to do. All the wokeness needed to be kicked out, and it is being kicked out and has been kicked out. And the result of that is the enlistments across the board are gone up. In all of the branches of the military, enlistment is way up. And young men are drawn to this. They're drawn to what it is to be a man, what it is to be a warrior, what it is to have boundaries, what it is to train, et cetera, et cetera. So to answer your question, I've never heard of a Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, now Secretary of War, come out with these kinds of speeches. Okay? I think what it appears to be a little hawkish, which is okay. But at the same time, look, he's the man for the job right now. And he seems to be doing it very, very well. So a lot to consider there. All right, well, there's some other things going on. It's called Oregon. There's just not enough syrup to fix it. But we'll talk about it when we come back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Gray's back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
All right, welcome back. 22 minutes past the hour. Just thought I'd give you a couple of insights of what's going on with our special session about to wind up in Oregon. They do a short session during the even years. And this is so interesting to me. House Bill 4079 is now working its way through the legislature, and it mandates that schools notify family, students, and staff when ICE is confirmed on school grounds. If you can imagine this, that now you have to notify parents and students that ICE is going to be in the neighborhood or on school grounds, which this is propaganda.
Yes.
And for many students, academic worries are taking a backseat to the fear caused by ICE.
No, that's a fear caused by school administration talking about ICE.
So can you imagine this? This is an important bill through the legislature when we're being taxed to death and our school ratings are somewhere between 48 and 50.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, there you go. And then the other one is the Oregon gas tax referendum that was passed. As you know, the citizens rose up and said no to the $4.3 billion bill, of which it was 6 cents a gallon. They said no to it in a record-breaking time and getting enough signatures to put it on the ballot. It was supposed to be on the general election. Well, the wisdom and the efforts of our dominant blue state, they want to move it from November to May because fewer turnout in May, and apparently that passed the House yesterday at 31-20. It's going to the governor's desk, and it looks like it could be on the May ballot. There could be a legal challenge to this for a couple of reasons. One, because a referendum is supposed to be on the general election. We'll see if that holds up. And they have missed the date to publicize in the voters pamphlet the referendum. Are they going to make an exception? Two rules that this blue state dominate puts into rules. Now they're going to break their own rules to accommodate something else. We'll see if this gets challenged, but for the most part, it's heading to the governor's desk for signatures.
Oh, my goodness.
I have a saying. You ready?
Yep.
We said no to the gas tax with the citizens' referendum. We'll say a no again in May primary with a full force turnout, and we'll say no to Governor Kotek in November.
I think you're on to something. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm already in trouble. Let's go to Wall Street. Take a look,
okay.
See what's happening out there. Thank you, Preston. He has Smart Lawn. If you're smart, you'll call him and you won't mow again, fertilize, or weed eat. Ooh.
Oh.
Look at this.
Whoa.
The Dow's down 1,101 points. The Nas is down 513. And S&P is down 142. So the war is catching up with all of this morning. We'll see how this turns out. Gold is at $5,060 an ounce. Silver is at $80.16 an ounce. And crude oil has now hit $80. Now, as bad as this is, it's expected.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. You know, that's not to say it's a good thing. It's just that this is kind of cause and effect when you have military action going on somewhere.
Well, undoubtedly, we are seeing an entirely new approach to foreign policy in our country, and some say one that is seeing dividends immediately, at least according to Joe Posobiec, as he was asked by Newsmax about Trump's style of getting things done. Let's listen in.
Well, you know, it's really interesting, Ed, and good to be on with you, because here you have President Donald Trump, who comes in. He's been a businessman his entire life. He's been in the private sector. He's been someone who works in the real world, having to put people to work, having to build things. He doesn't come from the political class. He doesn't come from any of these families that have been involved in politics for so long. And so perhaps that's why he's able to put points on the board much faster and much quicker than we've ever seen any president do before. This is an entirely new approach to foreign policy, and one that's seeing dividends immediately. If you look at what he's done, of course, with Operation Midnight Hammer back in June, then down to Venezuela. Look, and now, of course, what we're seeing today, we're seeing a president who understands that there are ways to do these things that don't require this massive amount of commitment of ground troops and trying to, produce the gender studies in Afghanistan program and curriculum that Barack Obama was pushing, as well as, by the way, sending the hundreds and millions and pallets of cash and billions of dollars to Iran in the first place. There always has been another way, and President Trump has been the one to find it.
Amazing. And another effect of this whole process is that we have just cut off the second source of China's cheap oil.
Yeah.
We did it in Venezuela, the first strike on there, and now coming out of Iran. This is a bigger picture than most people realize what's going on right now.
Huge.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and look for some pancakes with a lot of butter and syrup.
Okay. Or cold cuts,
We are, for those of us that get up at 3:30.
Yeah.
It's cold cut time.
Yeah, I think so.
What do they call it? Charcuterie.
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 Yeah. Okay.
The glazed gaze or something.
Yeah. More cheese.
More cheese.
Yeah,
okay.
I want cheese with my cold cuts.
More cheese, you're right. We'll be right back.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these Ministries on the Move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Hi, welcome back, and delighted to have a studio guest with me this morning. And we grabbed him because he's like a bar of soap in the shower. You can't get a handle on this guy. Usama Dadak is with us. Born in Egypt, raised the son of a Baptist pastor since 2004. He and his wife have served full-time throughout what they call the Straight Way of Grace Ministry. Mm-hmm. He's the author of several books examining the Islamic theology, and has produced an English translation of the Quran. Mm-hmm. Really?
Well,
should we read that? We're already banned if we read it, don't we?
Some people tell me we should not read the Quran. I will never have it in my home. And I said, that is exactly what Muslims want you to do. As a matter of fact, in the Pact of Umar, when they came and took over my country, Egypt, they make it one of the rules that we will not teach our children the Quran. It's like, why in the world Muslims do not want the Christian Coptic to learn Islam, to know about the Quran? The longer we do not know the true teaching of Islam as it is written in the Quran, the chance for the Muslims to take over America is greater. That is the problem. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We need to learn what Muslims believe from the Quran, of course.
I can't agree with you more. I only have you for a few moments, so thank you. Good
Sure,
to see you,
absolutely.
brother. Let me just say, first of all, he'll be speaking tonight, 6:30 to 8:30, in Grants Pass at 480 Redwood Highway there at the Henderson's lineup. And then Sunday, is it Sunday?
No, Thursday night.
Thursday night at the Wilderville Church.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think what's going on in Iran? How are you interpreting this?
I think it is fighting the problem we have with Islam in the wrong way. Once again, we think that Islam is a war can be won with bullets. It's a spiritual warfare. It's good for the Christian of Iran. It's good for the people of Iran to free them. But that will not fix the problem in the long run. The only way you can get rid of the snake is to crush the head. It's to get rid of. And the root of the problem of Iran, not the mullah, not the Khomeini, Ali or others who's dead. It was not a problem with Osama bin Laden. The problem is Islam. And if we do not get to the root of the problem, the cult of Islam, the word of Allah in the Quran, and the commands of Muhammad and the teaching of Muhammad in the Hadith, if we don't get there, it will not fix it. As a matter of fact, we know, Brother Perry, that in the end of time, Iran will be in war against Israel. So what are we doing now? We just weaken them a little bit.
Well, let me ask you this. There's a lot of stories coming out of Iran and other countries in the Middle East that Islam is being rejected. Are you sensing that?
It is true in many of the countries because actually the internet and the knowledge which we are teaching right now all over the internet, Muslims are start learning the truth about Islam. The more you study about the Quran, the more you study about Muhammad in his life, the more you could not help but to say goodbye. But these are small minority of the Muslims. We're talking millions, and those who left Islam, sadly, few of them are becoming a Christian, maybe in the thousands, all right? But there is 1.7 billion Muslim, and there are more babies born today than ever. So the idea is that everybody left Islam. No, that's not true.
What is the ultimate goal of Islam?
The destruction of the world is spreading the Caliphate, Islam, Islamic law, Sharia all over the world. And while we're fighting, by the way, Iran, Muslims are taking over America. So how good is that?
Okay.
Think about, Texas, New York, Minnesota. They're taking over America.
So what do you think happened in Texas? What do you think about that?
Well, today they are going to be voting in Texas, the Republican, to say this, I believe, something number 10, whatever laws they're going to be voting for the future, not allowing Sharia in America, in Texas. And I say, well, it's literally a good idea. We have passed this in Oklahoma in 2010 with 70% of the people say we don't want to have Sharia. And you think about it, at that time, Brother Perry, there were less than 1% Muslims live in Oklahoma. But 30% said yes for Sharia. That is the 29+% of Democrats. If you do the same law, I bet you the number today will be in the 90s, high number, because only Republican vote or making the decision. But if you go to the re-election coming up, it will drop to maybe 60 or less. Why? Because there are 40% people who live in Texas who do not mind to have Sharia. These are the liberals who do not care about our Constitution or anything about Christianity. So it's not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
It's not going to go anywhere.
In the meantime, we've seen this in London or in the UK where they allow the coexistence Sharia law. Have they passed the point of no return?
Oh, absolutely. It started with one court, and we put the warning out there, not me, but other people who does ministry like mine, and it did not go to any, it went on deaf ear, they don't care, and go to 10 courts, 50 courts, over 100 courts. Now, the Muslims of England are demanding every court in America, in England, must practice or allow Muslim to be judged according to Sharia. So if a man beat his wife, that's okay as long as he did not break her bones or shed her blood. She can go back home with her husband. And that is going to be forced on British women who are married to Muslim men, sadly.
So what do you think about Mondani in New York?
It's the same idea. Muslims are marching on to take over America. Right now they're joking about removing dogs from New York, but they're not joking about having the loudspeaker, Allahu Akbar, the call of prayer. Slowly, the 100,000 Muslims who live in New York City will change New York for good.
Do you think America understands this?
Do you think what?
America understands this threat?
No.
Do we understand jihad?
No, absolutely not. It's once again, If the American people know the true agenda of Muslims in America, they would not have allowed some of these Muslims to run for office. I mean, think about Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and all the others who are, we have over 240 Muslims right now working in our government in high positions, and their number will double. And by the way, they're not just using the Democrat, now they're using Democrats and Republican. We got already one congressman in Arizona, a Muslim man, originally from the Muslim. We are fighting in Israel, Hamas. His daddy is from Palestine, and he's a congressman and he's a Republican. So they're going to continue to do that. Both aisles, they're going to move on, march on to take over America.
Where do you think we are prophetically?
Well, I believe that I looked in the Bible. I know some people try to find something about an eagle in the Bible. America will not exist, Brother Perry, in the end of time. I believe, and I hope I'm wrong, that somehow the Democrat will, one day, they're going to take the White House, and when that day comes, they're going to turn their back against Israel. And by turning their back against Israel, the curse of God will be on America. It will be so fast. Sometime, we know that civilization, even every great civilization in the past, has destroyed after a while. It takes years to go down. America will happen this fast. It will be earthquake, hurricane, floods, and tornado, everything in America. It will destroy America in so short time that people know it is the work of, or the hand of God, not Mother Nature, because Mother Nature takes time. If you think about it, what we're doing with Israel will affect the future of America. It was Jimmy Carter, 1979, who removed the Shah, the king, and gives him Khomeini. And it was Obama who gives him not millions, but 130 billion. And now the Democrats are going to fight Trump to stop this war because they don't like America. They don't like Israel, the Democrats. And if you keep doing, let them have in the White House, and they will, they're going to turn their back against Israel, and we're going to curse ourselves, because the scripture is very clear. In this one unconditional covenant God has with Abraham, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. America will be cursed by God, maybe by all the Muslims whom the Democrat brought to this country in all the years in the past, including the last 4 years, and it's going to be very bad.
Do you think we're in a time of revival?
There will be revival when the time is going to get harder, as it's in nature, Brother Perry. Churches in Iran are much stronger than the church in America. Churches in Egypt are much stronger, my home country, than the church in America. Where there is persecution, there's fire. Where there's fire, there's revival. There will be revival in America in the end of time. Yes,
wish I had more time. Straightway, what do you do with Straightway?
The Straightway is our ministry to travel over the country to teach the truth about Islam, and people can check us out, thestraightway.org, and there's plenty of resources there. And by the way, I still have Sunday open. If somebody is interested to have me this Sunday morning, evening, before we be heading to Minnesota, Lord's willing.
Okay, one quick question. You're from Egypt.
Yes.
Is Egypt complicit to what happened in Gaza? With the tunnels, primarily.
Well, we the Egyptians don't like the Palestinians. We will never allow a family from Palestine, and I don't think they are really Palestinians, they're Arab. The Palestinians ceased to exist 604 BC, before Christ, as Nebuchadnezzar destroys that land to fulfill the prophecies of Jeremiah and Ezekiel. That's another show we can have talking about me and you. But Egyptians do not like the Palestinians. No Muslim country likes the Palestinians. Only the Americans, the liberals of this country, would love to bring more Palestinians here. And sadly, people of Europe, and they're not learning the lesson. They're not learning the lesson.
Good to see you.
Same here, brother. Thank you.
Don't stay away so long.
Oh, well, I will come back. I'll come back. I'm a call away.
TheStraightway.org is his website. There's a picture of the landing page, thestraightway.org. And if you want to hear him tonight, 6:30 over at 480 Redwood Highway there in Grants Pass. Osama, good to see you, brother.
The topic today, by the way, will be Islamophobia, fact or fiction. Very important topic.
Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, brother.
We'll be right back.
There is a way, there is a spark, there is a hope that you can hold on to. There is a lifeline, come to the rescue, just like a hand that's waiting for.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at thedove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
Welcome back, and welcome back, Jerry. He was out, I don't know, you were getting a falafel.
Well, thanks.
Or some pancakes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, what he was doing was correcting what he said earlier, and here he is.
Here's your Tuesday weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, clouds thicken with rain by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then steady rain at night, breezy at times with lows in the upper 40s. Down the Willamette Valley, expect cloudy skies with rain likely by midday, highs in the mid-50s, then a wet night with on and off rain and mild lows in the mid to upper 40s. Across central Oregon and into Boise, expect a dry, partly sunny day, highs in the mid to upper 50s in Bend and Prineville and near 60 in Boise, then cloudy with rain late Tuesday night. Along the Oregon coast from Coos Bay to Brookings and Crescent City, California, expect a rainy day with highs in the mid-50s, then an active night with rain, showers, and a chance of thunderstorms. In southern Oregon, Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland see morning fog, then partial sun with highs near 60, Klamath Falls mid-50s, and clouds thickening as rain moves in Tuesday night. Across northern California's interior, Wairika, Redding, Chico, and Sacramento are mostly sunny and warm, highs in the upper 60s to near 70, with clouds increasing late and a chance of showers mainly around Wairika and Redding. Around the Bay Area, Santa Rosa, Napa, San Francisco, and San Jose are partly to mostly sunny after some North Bay fog, highs in the mid to upper 60s with increasing clouds Tuesday night but staying dry and comfortable. It's your Tuesday forecast from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of our valley. Yes, we have a low-high fog.
Yeah.
It's covering the valley, but it's not quite down all the way on the ground, so it'll give way to sunshine a little bit later. By the way, I just want you to know the power of the Dove.
Okay.
I'm getting texts now about, first of all, you and I butchering the word charcuterie.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
We spelled it wrong, but we kind of had it right.
Okay.
Charcuterie boards and boxes.
Oh.
And I said it was a Craze Berries or something like that, you know.
Yes.
There's a franchise now here in Medford that does these things.
Did you get the name?
Yes. It's called Gray's Craze.
Gray's Craze.
Yes.
Okay.
At 1200 Biddle Road. And they make the charcuterie boards and boxes. Now, I'm the only reason I'm giving this plug is because I really butchered it.
Yeah, I know.
And so I owe them an apology.
Well.
But there's now businesses out there that'll make them for you.
I'm glad we cleared this up.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't know if it'll result in anything.
Well, that's the underlying desire here. Yeah.
It's called dove trolling here.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, you know, we have a lot of discussions when it comes to football. Who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Back in the early 80s, a four-time Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw, was thought by many to be that guy. Well, he had a little bit of an arm problem, an elbow problem problem. He went into the hospital for surgery, and while he was still a quarterback, and he didn't want to draw attention to it, so he created a name for himself that has created one of the biggest coincidences in NFL history. Check this out.
The Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback was scheduled for elbow surgery to repair muscle tears in his throwing arm, and to avoid a media circus, he used an alias, Tom Brady. Yep, Tom Brady. At the time, it was just a random, made-up name meant to keep reporters guessing. The surgery sidelined Bradshaw for the rest of the 1983 season, and he wouldn't return to the field until the following year. But here's the twist no one could have predicted. At the time, the real Tom Brady was only 5 years old, and nearly 2 decades later, Tom Brady would rise to superstardom, win 7 Super Bowls, and earn the title many fans call the GOAT, or the greatest of all time. So in one of the strangest coincidences in NFL history, a Hall of Fame quarterback once hid from the spotlight using the name of the man who would one day share it and perhaps even eclipse his legacy.
Tom
Brady. Well, Terry Bradshaw is quite a personality.
Yeah, he is quite a personality. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, he's on all the shows.
All the shows,
and, I've seen him smoking cigars and driving golf carts.
yeah. And don't forget who he replaced when the guy quit college to go duck hunting.
Oh, that's right.
Phil Robertson.
Phil Robertson.
Yeah, he was his backup quarterback.
Can you believe that?
No.
Of course, Phil's in heaven now.
Yeah, Phil, and he never used the name Tom Brady.
What a twist. What a twist.
Yeah, that's
out of the blue, he picks the name Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
And now Tom Brady is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
All right, well, let's get kind of things refocused a little bit there today. What's really going on in Iran? Well, our good friends at CBN News, they know how to dig it out. And here's what they have to say this morning.
What is happening on the ground right now inside Iran? Well, Iranian-American journalist Carmel Melamed joins us now. Carmel, tell us what you're hearing.
There's been nothing but celebration on the streets, excitement by the people. They're seeing this as their war of liberation. They're seeing America and Israel as their liberators. They're thanking the president. They're thanking Prime Minister Netanyahu for helping to get rid of and vanquish their oppressors. So there's a tremendous amount of appreciation for America, for Israel, for the administration. This is what they've been waiting for, Raj. This is what they've been asking for the past month. And they're thrilled that their day of liberation has come through. At the same time, there's a lot of nefarious activities going on by the regime and their officials. My contacts in Iran, particularly in Tehran, have been telling me that the regime has taken a lot of their prisoners, the political prisoners, and moved them into the buildings for the ministries of intelligence. It's kind of similar to Hamas after or during the Gaza war, where they took civilians and they used them as human shields. And it looks like the Ayatollah regime is doing the same thing with political prisoners. They're placing them within the intelligence ministry offices and buildings. So if the U.S. or Israel strikes those buildings, those individuals will get killed. And then the regime can use them as propaganda pawns and say, look, the Americans and the Israelis have killed our innocent civilians. So that's a great point of concern by a lot of Iranians there. At the same time, we've seen a lot of videos from different individuals inside Iran showing the IRGC members fleeing into Afghanistan. They're actually leaving Iran. They are worried about their safety. So there's a lot of defections. It looks like there's some defections from within the ranks of the Revolutionary Guard Corps into Afghanistan. There have been reports that there were bombings in the bazaar in Tehran, and the regime is claiming through their propaganda outlets that That's Israel, that's America. But we all know that's bogus. Those were probably bombings that were placed by the regime in those areas. America and Israel have no reason to place bombs or bomb a bazaar, basically stores that sell goods and groceries. So I believe that if that was the case, that's because the regime is trying to, again, go with that Hamas propaganda effort and try to put the blame on America, put the blame on Israel, and say they're killing our innocents. Look at these innocents. But it's staged and it's probably carried out by the regime.
Well, you know what's so interesting about this war, I think we've seen it in the last couple of things that's happened militarily, is the precision of things.
Yeah.
In wars gone past, you just bombed everything and everybody.
Right. Yes.
You know, it was just mass destruction. It was Rush Limbaugh say, you know, kill people and break things. Yeah. But now it's very precise. It's very precision. I mean, they knew where the Ayatollah was and 49 of his buddies, and they were able to literally pinpoint these bombs into a city block, and send it down the chimney and have it knock on the front door and come through. You know, so the precision of this stuff is just remarkable. It just shows you we're in a different warfare type technology that we've ever seen. They call it phonetic warfare. You know?
Right. And we see that, and it's been commented on, that the U.S. military obviously is state-of-the-art and equaled by no other country.
Right. Yeah.
And things have changed in this country, especially in the will department. We have all of these assets and a military that is very, very well prepared. And now we see not only the will to use it, but cleaning up the ranks inside the military under the current Secretary of War. Boy, the warrior ethos is rising to the top.
It is. And again, I don't know where I read it yesterday, but since this war has broken out, which is Saturday, which was a day before they intended to, inquiries into enlistment in all branches of the military is just skyrocketing.
Oh, man.
So it's in some ways showing strong manhood, defense, protection, warrior spirit. It's reinstituting what, if I can use the term, masculinity should be. In a warrior protecting position, you know, providing, protecting, defending. So anyway, that's
we're glad that it's there. We're glad that we have a strong military. I just pray that that we can stop using it, and that this will wrap up.
Absolutely. All right. A couple of days ago, I had Brad Dacus on. Brad was with him at the NRV. He's a great guy. He has the Pacific Justice Institute. He's taken on 2 cases and won them both. One in Oregon and one in Texas. Both are very significant. And here's what he had to say.
Yeah, this correction officer, he's solid in his faith, his convictions, and he was fired and not accommodated at all when it came time to his religious convictions not to take the controversial COVID-19 vaccine. Now, we all know that it really wasn't a vaccine. After all, it did not prevent transmission. And in fact, it's been catastrophic for the people that it's victimized throughout the United States by the hundreds of thousands, if not several million, who have permanent issues. I just talked to someone yesterday. It was tragic what happened to her and her husband right after they got the vax. So, but anyway, he had strong convictions. He expressed those religious convictions. They felt called by God not to do it, and they decided, no, you have to have it or you're fired. Now, his job was to monitor the perimeter of the correction facility. So it's not even like he was there inside the facility, you know, arm in arm with everyone. He was on the outside without even directly, you know, engaging. Nonetheless, he was fired. No effort to reasonably accommodate him as convictions. We stepped in and we filed a lawsuit, and the case settled right before it went to the jury trial, and we're very pleased with the very favorable outcome we achieved for him. Had we not stepped in, without a doubt, I don't think he would not have probably gotten help from anywhere else. And we took on these cases all across the country. We led the nation on these cases, and we'll continue to do so as we speak.
Yeah, big case, and of course he does. I think he's in every state now, and most of his work for Christians and Christian organizations. It's pro bono. So you can check it out, Pacific Justice Institute, pji.org. You can go there and support them.
And you know, it's unfortunate, but still happening as some of these COVID cases are unfolding in litigation even today.
Yeah, the vaccine turned out to be quite the messy thing.
Yes.
All right, Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth.
Yeah.
Here's his verse for all of his military.
From Pete.
From Pete.
Okay.
Actually, it's from the Lord.
All right.
To Pete.
All right.
1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong.
Hoorah. Amen. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings the dead to life.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegateRV.com.
The Pregnancy Center in Medford is a place of hope, providing free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, options counseling, and support to help women make informed, empowered choices. The Pregnancy Center is growing, hiring registered nurses to join our compassionate team. Work in a supportive environment where you can truly make a difference. No ultrasound experience? No problem. We'll train you in limited ultrasonography, a valuable new skill set for your career. To learn more, visit thepregnancycenter.us. Thepregnancycenter.us.
Best-selling author John Bevere on history's final chapter, what's coming next, and how we can prepare for it. And an Iraqi native caught in a civil war.
People getting beheaded, tortured, all sorts of horrible stuff.
How a dream helped him find peace.
I just saw his hand was reaching down and just said, I am, I am, I am.
Tuesday on the 700 Club, right here on the Dove TV.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
He's giving them a word of encouragement. He wants to give them a word of help. He says, come to me, all ye who are heavy laden and you're borne down and you feel the weight of life itself. And he says, I will give you rest. Here's Jesus, the living Son of God, the sovereign God of this universe, now seated at the Father's right hand. And he says, all power has been given to me in heaven and earth. So we know that whatever burden you and I carry, he is able to deal with it. Because the Bible's asked a couple times, is there anything too hard for God? How can anything be too hard for God, who is sovereignly in control of every single solitary thing, who is omniscient, knowing all things, omnipresent, all things are in his presence, and he has the power to handle every circumstance of life. And what is he saying to us? Come to me.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Journey to find answers to life's biggest questions. Watch Road Trip to Truth, Monday and Saturday on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. And of course, all eyes on the Middle East these days. And I am really honored to have with us today, let's see if I can say all this correctly, Reza Saifa. He is a Iranian-born pastor, former Shiite Muslim, and a founder of what they're calling the Nijat TV, which is a Christian network broadcasting into Iran and has been doing so since 2003. Best-selling author of Inside of Islam, and offers unique insight into the religion and political dynamics shaping Iran to today. So, Reza, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I hope I said all that correctly. Forgive me if I didn't.
It's all good.
Okay. So you can go to rezasafa.com, REZASAFA.com. And there's the picture of the landing page if you want to connect with them. Wow, a lot to talk to you about, short amount of time. What's your take on what's happening in Iran?
Well, after 47 years of an oppressive regime, the majority of the people of Iran, I would say about 80%, desire a change of government, a democratic government. And this what's taking place. It's bringing a lot of hope to people. Just recently, they killed over 40,000 people in the streets, peaceful protesters. And what President Trump and the Israeli forces are doing, it's bringing hope to a nation for freedom, a strong craving for freedom in that land among millions of people.
The president, in his speech, when he launched and okayed for the military action to take place, he said in there, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, this is your chance, speaking to the people, this is your chance to take your government back. Are the people ready for this? Are they prepared for this?
In regards to their willingness, they are. They want a new government, but the question is, can the bombardment and exterior forces help these people to take over the government? That's a big question. Because when you talk about the Iranian, the way the government system has been set, especially the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, and the infiltration of this force and the Basij force inside of Iran in almost every aspect of that society. The question is, can a nation, a people without arm, to overcome an evil force with arm? That is to be determined. That is, it all depends if there's going to be a fragmentation within the elites of those forces, because the Iranian government is run mainly by IRGC. That's where they hold the power. And if there is a fragmentation in that group, then there may be a hope, and even in the military, but military, the Artesh, the army is still under IRGC. If there is a fragmentation and division within these two groups, Iranian might have a chance at a new government.
From what we see here, the military is being obliterated. We're seeing where the Navy is pretty much taken out, the Air Force is taken out, and 49 of the key people around the Ayatollah has been taken out, including him. I don't know what's running what now. How far down the chain is running the resistance now? Do you know?
When we talk about, like, going back to this thing about the way they secured their system, because after the Iraq war, the Khomeini realized that he will have a lot of forces against him. So he secured the government through IRGC, Basij, and other military militia groups. So when we're talking about taking over a government, all it takes is handing people the guns, and there shall be an internal fighting and probably a civil war, because you still have about 20% of the people that are still loyal to the government. They are radicals. They are still Muslims. They're still willing to give up their lives. So the question is, I doubt if there's going to be a change unless there is a crack within that IRGC, especially IRGC, because the government leaders, the Ayatollahs, they can be taken out. That's not a problem. The problem is 300,000 foot soldiers that IRGC has.
Do you? Well, first of all, I'm curious, how is it going for you to broadcast Christian content into Iran? Are you still on the air?
Yes, we are. Fortunately, they cannot stop satellite broadcast. So for the past, we started 2003, and our satellite has been going on all over Iran. So
that's beautiful. Is there Is there a turn from Islam in Iran?
I'm sorry, I hear another voice. I didn't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is there a turn away from the Islamic faith towards Christianity in Iran?
You know, I can certainly confirm that we have possibility of anywhere between 5 to 10 million Iranians that are converted to Christian faith.
Wow.
We have we have hundreds and hundreds of underground groups, possibly thousands. You know, since we started, we have prayed with people. I've prayed with Ayatollahs who've come to Christ. I prayed with top military people that have come to Christ. I've prayed with ministers of the government that have come to Christ. So the gospel has penetrated every aspect of that society, because the Iranian people, the Persians, are tired of the Islamic Sharia law. And, you know, Islam was forced onto them in the 7th century, middle of 7th century. And they by force, they had to accept that religion. And past their 47 years of tasting the reality of Sharia law, Islam is dead in Iran. Islam has died in Iran. As a matter of fact, Khomeini, the first leader, he said Islam was a sick cow, and the government of Iran, with their brutality, has shot that cow. And so Islam is dead and no longer has any power spiritually in that nation.
That's a huge statement. So what does that mean going forward now?
Well, two things. Number one is Iran will become either the first Christian nation that took over the Islamic forces or the Islamic nation, or will become partially Christian, partially secular. For certain, the government, the new upcoming government under Reza Shah, if there's going to be a transition, he is promising people a secular government. You know, when you look at the Iranians, for instance, out here in the West, like in America, we have over 1 million Iranians. The majority of them are atheists now. They're secular, highly educated, highly successful. Iranians in Iran, the you could say the middle class, are opening up for anything but Islam. So a lot of them are going to all kinds of religion seeking. And of course, many have accepted Christ. So it'll be an interesting society in the days to come to see what formation of that nation will be like.
Do we in the West, Reza, understand what it means for a Shiite or Sunni Muslim to convert to Christianity?
I don't think in the West, you know, I was listening to former deputy director of CIA analyzing the situation in Iran, and it broke my heart listening to him. I was writing a response. The reason that we are in a shamble, that we are in the Middle East, our foreign policy, is because of the knowledge of people like yours. I don't think that here in the West we have understood the mindset of Islam, and especially the radical Islam. And the reason all of these administrations since Carter, what a mess that was during Carter administration, dealing with the radical Islam, we have not understood how that mindset works. And then these people converting to the Christian faith, you know, you would think for 1,500 years we haven't had any breakthrough in the Islamic world. And Iran is the first fruit of 1.8 billion Muslims, first fruit of an oppressive system, an oppressive religion. You would think every church in the world would want to get involved and support this and get behind it, because Iran is the first fruit that God will use to reach the Islamic world, all the 50 Islamic nations. And God is outpouring His Spirit over this nation. You would think that all these American churches out here in the West and in Europe would get behind this and say, hey, we haven't been able to have any success in the Islamic world. Now we're getting this success. Let's get behind people like Reza Safa or James and John, whoever they are, that working out in the Middle East. You know, in California for the past 15 years, I've been seeking to rent a place in a church so that we could have it for our Persian groups. And churches have not allowed us to have a meeting, except one church, Presbyterian Church. And then another group took over that church, and they kicked us out. I'm thinking, if it was me, there are 400,000 people, Iranians, in Orange County where I live. I would hire you, give you the best salary, reach out to these people, because these are the future of the Middle East. But somehow, I think we've lost it in America, and I hate to be negative about this matter, in our churches. We are becoming internally. We rather have a gym in our churches with the most fancier cushion pews in our churches than reaching out to what God is calling out a nation out of darkness into light. So I don't know. I mean, that's a big question there.
Well, Reza, your passion is wonderful. I have to tell you, sitting here in this position in the last couple of days, to see the Iranian original flag raised with the United States flag raised with the Star of David flag is an unbelievable sight. And when I saw the Star of David overimpressed on the original Iranian flag, it stopped me dead. I go, whoa, look at this. I don't know if we get it.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, I've been teaching about Israel and the importance of Israel. As a matter of fact, I just finished a book called Why Israel Matters. And you won't believe that how many thousands of Iranians pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And so, you know, when God changes your heart, you see the light, then you walk in the light. And you understand the plan of God. You understand how important the Jews have been for the salvation of the world, and how important they are for today, for the light they brought to the world. So Iranian that have converted now to Christian faith have that same spirit of Cyrus, that same spirit that was upon Cyrus about helping God's people, helping the Jews. And that is joyful. I tell you, I rejoice in this, what God has been doing the past 20 years in Iran.
This is fabulous. I want to get you back and spend more time with you. Let me just say to our viewers and listeners, check out his website, Reza Safa, RezaSafa.com. There's a picture of the landing page. Reza, before I let you go, let me ask you this. We've heard where people in Iran have awoken with dreams of Jesus. These are miraculous things that we're hearing about. Are they true?
Oh, absolutely. You know, 90% of all the people that come to Christ in Iran, and we have testimonies of thousands upon thousands, they have seen Jesus either in a dream, in a vision, open vision, or in person. I mean, I've got stories to tell you, unbelievable stories about the people that have had a visitation of the Lord. It has been a time of visitation, as the Bible calls it. And the fulfillment of Jeremiah chapter 49 about Elam is taking place in that country. And the promise is that God said, I will establish or set my throne in Elam. And that is happening. The faith of God is growing so strongly in that land today.
Can I get you back?
Absolutely.
Well,
I would love that.
I'm just so encouraged by your testimony today. Again, and pray for his network, Nijat TV, which is broadcasting Christian content right there through satellite over Iran. And check out his website, RezaSafa.com. And there's a picture of the landing page. Blessings, my friend. Let's stay connected. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, God bless.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why at Kelly's, it's automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
Welcome back, and always a delight and perfect timing when we have time to spend with Professor Murray Sabrin. He's the Professor Emeritus of Finance there at Ramapo College there in New Jersey. He's the author of several books, including his autobiography, which is very inspiring, and that is From Immigrant to Public Intellectual, An American Story. There's a picture of the cover of the book on the screen there. He also has many publications, and you can catch up with him, murraysabrin.substack.com. And let me encourage you to do that. Professor, good to see you, friend. How are you, buddy?
Great to be with you, Perry. These are ominous times, needless to say.
No question. I'm sorry, I forgot my hat this morning. It's sitting on my desk. So
okay, you get a demerit today for that.
Okay, that's okay, as long as I can stay in your class. Well, listen, the Dow this morning is bouncing all over the place. At one point, it was down 1,200. It's down about 800 right now, and I guess this is expected when the war breaks out. How vulnerable is the global economy with this disruption?
Well, very vulnerable. We know the Straits of Hormuz are closed. That means oil is not passing through. 20% of the world's oil supply goes through that strait. And we see oil prices spiking. That means gasoline prices will probably spike, and that will have an impact on the inflation rate. And if that happens, then the Fed will probably be, their hands will be tied in terms of lowering interest rates, which means pumping more money into the economy. On the other hand, the Fed may feel we may entering an economic downturn because of the high oil prices, and they may start pumping money in to lower interest rates to try to stimulate the economy. No matter the way you look at it, war and inflation and economic distortions and instability occur simultaneously. And that's why I've been promoting a peace platform when I ran for the U.S. Senate in New Jersey many years ago. And on my Substack, I talk about these issues as well. Peace is the foundation of prosperity, freedom, and that is what will give the global economy the foundation for people to prosper all over the world.
Does the Dow, during a time like this where it opened up 1,200 points down, is there a governor here where it kind of stops?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, depending on what happens in the Mideast, that we may see the Dow down 2,000 points, 3,000 points. Remember what happened on October 19th, 1987? The market was down 22% in one day. Well, 22% of where we are today is about 10,000 points. That would be horrific. There would be panic on Wall Street, and that would probably be the best buying opportunity, just as it was in late October of 1987. The market took off from there and peaked in 2000. So again, we're in very dangerous times, economically, politically, socially, militarily. These are not times that make people less anxious in the world. They make people more anxious. And that's why we need to have a policy of peace, peaceful relations, commerce with everybody, and that would solve most of the world's problems.
The Dow always, or the market always responds emotionally quite severely at times.
Sure.
Is consumer confidence weighing in this, or do you think it could help the market stay strong, or at least bounce back, I should say?
Well, you hit upon a very important point. Consumer sentiment is what's going to drive consumer spending. And if people are very nervous about the future, they may hold back buying new cars, furniture, the high-ticket items. They still have to buy the necessities of life, food and personal effects at the pharmacy and things like that. But this has a huge impact on people's behavior in the marketplace and businesses as well, because they have to plan for the next 3 to 5 years. And if they see economic instability, political and military instability, they may hold back on capital investment, and that will put a drag on the economy. So no matter how you look at it, Perry, war is the enemy of economic freedom, economic prosperity. And I think the policymakers here and abroad have to realize that. And unfortunately, they're not putting aside their geopolitical goals, which means, in this case, war with another nation.
All right, for the reasons for this attack versus the fallout from the economy, it's got to be a decision that's hard to make. I would assume the president calculated this downturn as a result of the war. And I'm also assuming he thinks it'll be short. What do you think?
Well, be careful what you think is going to happen, because every president thinks that war will be over in no time. I remember in 1965, Johnson said, we're going to go into Vietnam with 100,000 troops and it'll be over in a few months, and it dragged on for 10 years. George W. Bush said, we're going into Iraq. They're going to love us going into Iraq, and that war lasted for years and years. Same thing in Afghanistan, 20 years. War never ends the way that politicians think it's going to end, because they underestimate the resilience of the country that they're attacking. We've seen this over and over again, and they just never learn, because they have an agenda that strength and might is right, and that is not the way we should have relations with other countries. George Washington laid it down, our benchmark for peaceful relations with other countries in his farewell address. And so presidents always miscalculate. We've seen this over and over again, and I think Trump will really panic if the market really tanks here. By tanking, I mean down 10-20% or more. And then he can't say, look how great the Dow is because of my presidency. He will either withdraw from the attacks, or he will try to negotiate with Iran. But Iran says, you fooled us by bombing us when negotiations were underway, so why should we trust you with any further negotiations?
In the meantime, the president was slapped down by the Supreme Court on tariffs, and he found another way to continue. I'm pretty aware of your position on that, but now, where does that leave us? I mean, we're doing tariffs anyway. I mean, where's this going to lead?
Right. Well, I think the tariff authority that he used is good for, I think, 150 days or something like that. I don't know the exact number of days. Then he has to go to Congress to get approval for putting these tariffs in permanently. Tariffs are taxes. And if you're going to be the low tax president, then you can't impose tariffs, which tariffs are nothing more than trade taxes. Everybody knows this. And so this harms small businesses. There's been evidence all over the country that small businesses are really feeling the brunt of these tariffs, because they have to pay more for imports. Can they raise prices to consumers? Maybe, maybe not. And therefore, their businesses are hurt. Their bottom line is undermined.
Just kind of a sidebar question, Professor. Do you know if a business charges you for tariff of a product they already have in stock is legal?
Well, they can charge whatever they want, and hopefully consumers will pay for it. I mean, it doesn't matter what drives the price. What drives the price is consumer value. If consumers think it's a good value, no matter what the producer is doing in order to get to that price at the marketplace, it doesn't matter. I mean, we have all sorts of laws regarding what business can or cannot do, and these are the regulations that have no merit as far as I'm concerned. The way the economy should operate. The economy should operate by buyers and sellers getting together and determining what the price will be, and that's determined basically by consumers. If someone offers a car for $100,000 and nobody buys it, then the producer has to lower the price of the car or any product, whether it's a TV or a computer or whatever. And so we seem to think in Washington, that producers are all powerful. No, it's the consumer that's all powerful. Because if I don't want something, but you don't want something, and we don't buy it, then the producer has to determine at what price can they maximize revenue and still make the consumer happy.
Yeah, makes total sense. All right, so you're expecting inflation to go back up. And where does that leave the president or the federal government looking into other things like healthcare and housing?
Again, Perry, this is another example of the chickens are coming home to roost. Once you have government intervention in the economy, no matter if it's in healthcare, education, transportation, you name it, you create distortions. By distortion, we mean less supply, more artificial demand, especially in healthcare. Healthcare is a mess because of massive government intervention since Medicare and Medicaid in the 60s, and prices have become unaffordable. That's why the government is subsidizing healthcare for tens of millions of Americans. If we had a free market in healthcare, prices would come down because you wouldn't have all the bureaucracy, you wouldn't have all the people in a doctor's office filling out insurance forms. Doctors can do what they do best, which is treat patients, rather than having a staff of people to fill out forms for the insurance companies and the government.
I only have you for one segment, so let me ask you this question. I understand what's happening there in the Strait of Hormuz. That's critical for the flow of oil, and that's going to obviously impact the price of oil. But in the meantime, domestically, the president said, drill, baby, drill. Do we have the capacity to offset this?
I don't think so. I think American producers are at capacity right now. If they're not there, they're very close to it. And you can't do these things overnight. It takes a long time for a well to be drilled and to be all the infrastructure to be put in place to get that oil out of the ground and get it to the refinery. So again, people seem to think in Washington that production takes place instantaneously. It doesn't. It takes years to develop projects, especially nuclear projects. And hopefully nuclear energy will be the salvation for a lot of these issues because they're building reactors now that are much smaller and takes less time to build them. That I think will be helpful to the data centers and other major products that are underway in the United States. So again, let the people who do things best, the entrepreneurs in America, to deal with the needs of the American people rather than waiting for edicts from Washington, D.C. about how to structure the economy.
All right, let me say to our viewers and listeners, murraysabrin.substack.com. There's a picture there. Get your MAFI hat. Make America Financially Independent. And go there and get one. murraysabrin.substack.com. Professor, always good to see you, friend. Wish we had more time. We'll get you back soon.
All right, thanks, Perry, and stay well and stay safe.
All right, you too, buddy.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
The Pregnancy Center in Medford is a place of hope, providing free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, options counseling, and support to help women make informed, empowered choices. The Pregnancy Center is growing, hiring registered nurses to join our compassionate team. Work in a supportive environment where you can truly make a difference. No ultrasound experience? No problem. We'll train you in limited ultrasonography, a valuable new skill set for your career. To learn more, visit thepregnancycenter.us. Thepregnancycenter.us.
Finding your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
All right, welcome back, and always a delight to have with us Pastor Mark Little. He's the host of the Mark Little program, or the Mark Little Show, which now is available. It's a podcast on all the platforms, and let me encourage you to check it out. Apple Podcast is the most popular, but if you are a podcast consumer, check out his. It's called The Mark Little Show, and again, available on all the podcast platforms. Pastor Mark, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
I am good, actually. I am in a good season. I don't know why. I can only explain it by the supernatural, because everything around me seems to suggest that I shouldn't feel so good.
Well,
but I'm doing well. It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. When I grow up, I want to be like you.
I don't know about that. You have to have a really nice cane to limp around with.
Well, there you go. Mark, I'm sensing across Christendom, and I missed you at the NRB. I missed seeing you and hugging you. But in the meantime, I'm sensing a genuine dive into the Word from people, even Christians that have been Christians for a long time. What does the Word say? What does it really say, and what does it really mean? There seems to be a turning towards, wait a minute, what is it that I believe, and why do I believe it? That's got to be a healthy self-perspective, don't you think?
I do think, of course, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But I think what's even more interesting is what brought us to this point. And I think that it's the season of exposure, a season of people saying, I thought this was one thing and it turns out to not be. And so now they are searching for themselves, and maybe as even an act of God himself, that people are now looking for the exegesis on their own. And it's very, very much available. But I think that it's sparked by the shattering of what we or they thought our leaders were, only to find out that they're imperfect just like we are. And so I think they're going to the Word. And I think a lot of young people, Gen Zers, are trying to find an experience that suits themselves, and they want to know just what it says, because around us in the culture, I call it C-U-L-T, capital C-U-L-T-U-R-E, culture. I think that people are realizing that we've been lied to about so many things. Look at the child sex trafficking that's now being exposed, and people are being arrested all around the world. And they've been running governments all, for generations. And we're finding out that what we thought was true is not. And I think the exploration of the Word is a symptom and outgrowth of that.
That's a great explanation. I want to zero in on something you've been zeroing in on with your episodes, and on the subject of forgiveness. Why has the Lord led you to take this on?
You know, this podcast was supposed to be mostly political. And as I began doing it, and as I began to get comfortable with doing it by myself, the Lord began to just direct my topics. So as I would prepare for a sermon on Sunday, he would give me a download. And this past week, forgiveness, it dovetails out of what I did for church hurt. And then I did the praying from the palace the week before. And at the end of that episode is Mark 11:24. And the beginning of Mark 11:25 is, as you stand and pray, make sure that you forgive. And I began to look into that because we miss it. We know we pray the Lord's Prayer, forgive our debtors as we forgive our debtors, and we just run right past it. But when I came from that episode of praying from the palace, which is praying from a place of being an heir, and I ended that based on relationship, and the Lord began to speak to me through Matthew 11:24 and then into 25, I realized that forgiveness is a command. Now, here's the answer to your question. Because of our ministry, No Longer Bound, abortion and miscarriage recovery ministry, I encounter people who come in angry with those who either molested them, helped them with the abortion, wouldn't drive them to the abortion, wouldn't pick them up, or a husband that didn't understand the pain of the miscarriage. And so they harbor unforgiveness. Unforgiveness blocks kingdom blessing. So I wanted to teach forgiveness because forgiveness is a command. It's an act of our will. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have to walk it out daily with the Holy Spirit to not fulfill the lust of the flesh, to want revenge, etc. But we start with the fact that it is a model from the cross, that Jesus forgave those that didn't deserve it. And that's what he's calling us to do.
One of the parts of forgiveness is a struggle in the mind, is when there's been really no resolve. You know, and maybe the person's gone. And that's point one. Point two is forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation, right?
That's a part of the teaching. That's exactly right. It does not mean reconciliation, but even more importantly, it's not about the person who harmed you. It's about releasing what is a calcified condition of the heart. Because forgiveness is not about emotion. It's about obedience. And with obedience comes transformation. And it's not about the person. When Jesus died, he died for all humanity, and he shed his blood. Of course, he knew who would come in the ages. But that's the model. We are to forgive, and the forgiveness is for us. It's for the forgiver. It's not for the forgiven. Here's what it says. He says, "Forgive so that you may be forgiven." So when you see that, you have to say to yourself, whoa, what is he saying here? He says that we are his image bearers. We're to emulate the character of God. And so if God can forgive those who were born into sin, original sin, that's the model that he's called us to. But we have to understand forgiveness that in the text, it's not driven by emotion. It's not, I'll do it when I feel like it. It's not, I'm ready. That's not what the text says. It's a command. It's called the imperative. It's a command. Forgive. So what I say to people is when you start with obedience, then the transformation comes. If you understand that you're not the judge, God is. You're not letting the person off the hook for what they did. You know, we acknowledge what they did. We name it. We affirm it. We affirm the pain. We affirm how you feel. Absolutely, you have to, because what happened to you was wrong. But if you're going to be whole, if you're going to walk in the wholeness that Jesus talked about in Luke 4:18, he said he came to set the captives free. If you're going to walk in that, you have to first say to yourself, I'm going to emulate the Savior. And as an act of my will, I'm going to be obedient, and I'm going to forgive, and I'm going to recognize that he is the judge. I'm not. And that's the hard part. But that's because the focus is on the person who did the harm. The focus has to be on your wellness. And that comes through obedience.
Well, there's a lot here to unpack. Let me ask you this. You said earlier, unforgiveness is the blockade of God's blessing. And I'm paraphrasing you. But the point being is, How do we know if we got unforgiveness?
Oh my goodness, we carry so much of it. If all we have to do is stop and think, we've gotten used to just writing people off, and so it's an inventory, especially before you go and you stand before the Lord in prayer, which is what the text says. Get rid of your unforgiveness. So how do you know you have unforgiveness? It's an emotional thing. I mean, so when you span your life, it typically goes back to your formative years when you're being raised. Something happened, mom, dad. It starts there, and you sort of learn to stuff it. You learn to stuff it, and so going through the inventory of your life. And the person that comes up and that name comes up and you say, oh, I don't want to be with that person. I don't want to go out with that person. It is daily, honestly. People at work, people that you see, that you walk down the hall and you just want to avoid. It's little stuff. But you know what I did one day? God is amazing. Even with people I didn't know, I did an exercise of love, of how to love. As I walked down the street, I would just look in people's face and I would say, I love you. I love you as a brother or sister in Christ, not knowing what their faith is. I love you. And something just begins to happen when you walk with the Spirit, when you walk with the Holy Spirit and you try to fulfill the fruit of the Spirit. And you walk it out and you act it out and you let your mouth speak love. Something happens. And that is part of how you learn to forgive. Now, here's what I learned in the study. Forgiveness should be a discipline, just like prayer or fasting. Discipline, it should be a discipline. Learning to forgive, walking in forgiveness daily. You have to adopt it as a discipline, and your life will change. Because God says, as you stand before me and you come to me in prayer, I don't want any of your stuff to block. He says, stand before me and you forgive those who have harmed you. Forgive. It's a command. And he says that for a reason, so that I may forgive you. Now, we know that Jesus died. If you forgive us of our sins, that's not the point. He's trying to pull out his character in us to be consistent with the fact that we're his image bearers. Don't forget that. We've got to understand what the text is saying. Mark 11:25.
All right, good stuff. Let me take a quick break. I have a big question for you, Mark. Pastor Mark Little's with us. Check out his podcast, The Mark Little Show, available on all of the podcast platforms, and probably Apple Podcasts being the most popular. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world, online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
We're talking here about the procedure of faith. After Elijah had done what God already told him to do, then the word of the Lord came to him. And that is the way the procedure of faith always works. It's the procedure of step-by-step obedience before the Lord. We obey one command, and then he gives us another. We take one step, and then he leads us to the next step. And that's very uncomfortable for me and for all of you too. Can I get a witness? We want to know the whole story. We want to see where it ends up. We want to know what problems we're going to face between A and Z. But God doesn't work that way. He leads us one step at a time.
a ministry moment on the Dove.
All right, welcome back, and always a delight to have Pastor Mark Little with us. You're one of our audience favorites, Pastor Mark. Someday we're going to bring you out here. We're going to put you out here and turn you loose. In the meantime, you can check in with him. He has a podcast now, and it's it's growing in leaps and bounds, called The Mark Little Show. It's available on just about all of the podcast platforms, perhaps Apple Podcasts being the most popular out there, so check it out. All right, during the break, I was trying to figure out how to ask this question, so hopefully it comes out right. A lot of people understand forgiveness. They understand that we have to forgive, and in forgiving, we become more like Christ. But at the end of the day, they don't feel like their prayers are getting through. They kind of get a feeling, if I could use the metaphor, of being outside the gate, not inside the gate. What do you say to that one?
I tell you, you are all in my podcast. I love it. It's a paradigm shift for me, if I'm being honest. We have a tradition of praying, interceding, praying to God, making our petitions known, and even spiritual warfare. And oftentimes we're going through stuff and we're trying to connect, and we're trying to see a move of God. And the Lord showed me as I was travailing in my own stuff. In fact, in therapy, I don't mind saying, there seemed to be a disconnect between me and God the Father. I could relate very well to Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit and how I operate in my ministry, but me and God the Father. So I started to do a excavation of the problem there. And it led me to a revelation that my prayer life was of almost like that of a beggar. It was like I was outside of the gate of the palace being God's house. And I began to explore my posture in my prayer life. And the Lord showed me, how do you beg like that when I call you an heir of God, when I call you a joint heir with Christ? How is it that the scripture says that you are at my table, raised with Christ, Romans, raised with Christ, who is seated at the right hand. You're raised with Christ. But in your prayer life, it's almost like I'm a subject. I'm outside of the palace.
Yeah.
And it was a revelation. It was a paradigm shift. And I'm still working my way through it. Here's the key. Here's the key. Not only recognizing my posture, which is I'm talking to Abba Father. What would the Father withhold from me that is in alignment with his will? That's point 2. When we pray, he says, it's got to be in alignment with my will. The word says, whatever you shall ask in my name, according to my will, I shall give it to you. This is not name it and claim it. This is what the scripture says, to be in alignment with me. So if you are a child, let's just bring it to the natural, and you live in a home with a dad and a mom, and you know that they're semi-conservative, right? So you can't go out wearing booty shorts, and you can't go to the nightclub, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wear makeup, whatever it is. So you don't pray to go to the club because you know what the answer is. Mm-hmm. You pray what you know is in alignment with who they are. And that's what God is saying. And here's the last point. When you pray, know that his answer. Go to Daniel. When you pray according to his will, know that the answer is coming because you are praying in alignment. The third point is relationship. I love it. When Abraham was met by the pre-incarnate Christ and the 2 angels, and he was on his way to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, what did the pre-incarnate Christ do? He said to the heavenly host, he said, should we tell him our plans? And the answer, of course, was yes. Why did he ask that question? It's because Abraham was in relationship such that The Lord allowed him to bargain with him on his way to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the kind of relationship that I want. I want to be praying from a posture that appreciates who I am in the kingdom, and that I'm in alignment with him, and that I'm in such relationship that he's not only hearing me, but he allows me to have a negotiation, a bargain about what's happening in my life, and know that he hears me. That's the paradigm shift for me, Perry.
That's beautiful, Mark. I guess, I would encourage you to finish walking that out and praying that out, because what I've sensed in counseling with people, and maybe in my own struggle, sometimes you just don't feel like you're in the inner circle. I think we may have missed being taught what it is to be in Christ. Now, I don't mean that arrogantly or in a commanding way or a demanding way, but I'm wondering if we've missed it as a church, teaching people what their position is when they are, quote, in Christ.
I think where the confusion comes is that somehow we think that we are an exception to trials. Of course, that's not true. And so when we fall into trials and we're praying, we're confused. So in life, you'll have valleys. And once you have that relationship, you know that he's walking with you and he's teaching you something. And so the perspective of the trial becomes different. It becomes, Lord, what are you showing me? So that when I get out of this trial and I get back to the mountaintop, I can be a testimony of what you did and what you taught me. And the whole wilderness experience, it's full of that. You look at Aaron with the calf, and you look at Moses striking the rock in the way he should not have and didn't go into the promised land. There's so many examples of the wilderness experience. So this Christian walk is not without trials. But that does not mean that you're outside of the gate. You are still an heir. He still redeemed you from the hand of the enemy. He has still redeemed you from darkness. He has still made you a new creation. Why? Because you're going someplace. This is just a pass-through. We're going to eternity with him. So let's learn what we're supposed to learn while we're here, helping one another see Jesus Christ, so that they might join us in eternity. That is the master plan.
People were anxious before Saturday. Now they're really anxious across the world. What's your pastoral advice?
That's a good one. That's a good one. First, this is the penultimate chapter. We're not in the final chapter, so be encouraged in that way. And why do I say that? Because when you look at Ezekiel, you look at Jeremiah, you look at Israel, Isaiah, and you look at the historic names of the nations that will come together in the last days, we're not there yet. You have Persia, you have Ethiopia, and you have Northern Africa, and then you have the safe state of Israel. We're not there yet. But here's what the church needs to do. We need to be watchful. We need to be in intercession. And we need to proclaim what thus saith the Lord. That's what we're called to do. If you go to Luke 21:18, that's what the church is called to do. And so as I'm watching these things unfold, I'm watching Donald Trump set the stage for the whole world. He's a Jehu who came and dealt with the Ahaz and Jezebel. Donald Trump in this season is like Jehu, who was called to reset systems. So that's how I am seeing it in my prophetic gift. I'm not a prophet, but I operate in a prophetic gift. And so I see it that way. And for the church, we should not be anxious for anything, but in all things, thanksgiving, supplication, prayer unto the Lord. That's what we're called to do, to be anxious for nothing, but know that God is ultimately in control. And if you have yourself tethered to the rock, you're not concerned because you know where you're going, whether you're a premillennialist or not. If you think there's going to be a rapture and you're going to miss all the tribulation, whatever your position is, if you just remain rooted in Jesus Christ, you've got your charge. Be watchful, be in intercession and proclamation Luke 21:18. And we'll go home and rejoice together.
That's beautiful. So do you think in these days in which we live that God...
I'm sorry, Luke 21:28, sorry.
Okay. Do you believe that in these days in which we live that God is breaking down our biases so the simplicity of the gospel becomes more clear?
Boy, that's a good question. And if I answer it
I got about
very honestly, I think that 2 Corinthians 4:4, but the God of the age is blinding the eyes of the unbeliever. I think that is still very much alive. And I think it grows every day. We're seeing the demonic exposed, and it's not hiding anymore.
Right, right.
So I think that if you are seeking, if you're doing Matthew 6, 13, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all that you're praying for shall be added unto you, I think you'll get him. All you've got to do is seek him. He is there to be found.
All right, let me say to our viewers and listeners, always an honor and a joy to have Mark with us. He has his podcast now where you can zero in on him a little tighter, called The Mark Little Show, and it's available on all the podcast platforms, probably Apple Podcasts being one of the most popular ones out there. You're in this series of forgiveness. What's next? Do you have any idea?
I'm going to actually break down what you just asked me about, what's happening around the world, with Iran in particular. So the next episode will sort of break down why this is not the final chapter.
All right. Good to see you, brother. Love you, man.
God bless you.
Yeah, miss seeing you, but that's okay. We'll get together again.
I'll be back.
All right. God bless you. See you later.
God bless. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you for your faithful support to the Dove. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 and online around the world. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge